Last year's grand finalists, Port Adelaide and North Adelaide do battle here at Alberton. Round 4 in the SANFL. Centre bounce. Hines up against Redden. Nobody really won it. Hines takes possession. Kick smothered by Clisby. Play on the call. Borlase in there. Pretty tight early on. The pack develops. And the bounce on the attacking side of the centre circle for Port Adelaide. Greg Phillips winning the toss. Port attacking the city end in the first turn. Good body work. Hines wins the tap. Forces it wide to Hutton, who taps it on. Here's a race between Hutton and also Tasker out there. Hutton falls over. This allows Blair in. Gets it over to Stephen Sims. North Adelaide forge into attack as Sims kicks it over half forward up towards Bennett, and he might get the free kick, Peter Bennett. No, in fact, it'll go the other way, and it's Greg Phillips.
One of the very important clashes on the ground today, Phillips versus Peter Bennett. It'll be a good one to watch.
Phillips' kick goes right in towards the centre of the ground as players set themselves. Rowan, the big fella Darren Smith has taken the mark, and he plays on quickly, swings it out towards the grandstand side. Northeast is there, waits for the bounce to come to him. Awkward hand pass to Abernathy. He can't get the ball away. In goes Port Adelaide again. Tregenza the opportunity, weaves around. The kick not a good one. Tasker claimed the mark, but it wasn't paid. Waiting for it, Simmons. Sanders the chance. North run it out of defence. The kick from Lehman wide is good and accurate, finding Peter Bennett. He'll go into his left foot and put it in towards the centre half forward area. Port Adelaide with the numbers there. Hines wide to Fiarchi. Now he's got plenty of opportunity. Oh, he's overrun it. Put himself under pressure, but we'll get the free kick in the fullback area.
Fiarchi chips it short. Out there is Foster. Foster onto Abernathy. Port Adelaide clear. Abernathy clears to the outer side wing. Up high Tasker. The only man to keep his feet was Rowan Smith. He tries to find Borlase, who intelligently taps it onto a teammate in Hutton, who's tackled. Pretty heavy body work, and the free kick to Darren Smith out there. Good to see him back, Robbo.
Certainly is. He's a big kingpin for Port Adelaide at centre half forward.
Smith fires the pass. Daisy cutter into Scott Hodges. Inside 50, he takes the mark.
Scotty Hodges, they need this bloke to fire. He was completely cut out on Monday night against the Bays. That was a big problem for Port Adelaide. They need him to fire.
So Scott Hodges to fire from about 45 metres out. Port Adelaide attacking the city end of the first term. Good looking kick off the boot, just straying offline a touch. The first score on the board, Port Adelaide lead by a point.
Yes, the first score on the board. It's a point to Scotty Hodges. He needed that for his confidence. It'd be down a little bit after last Monday night. But Darren Smith at centre half forward, he's been a strong player for Port there over a couple of years, and they'll be looking to see him get right back into form.
Marshall puts the ball back into play out towards the half-back flank towards Darryl Hart. Recovers well. The lead on from Bennett. Mark. Darren Jarman. Weaves around cleverly. Has a look and finds Kim Klomp. Hand pass to Sanders. North on the run from the centre. Up towards the full forward area. Up they go. Ball to ground. Fiarchi shepherds off well. Port will run the ball from defence. Northeast the opportunity. A long hand pass finds Williams. Now Williams has got a player breaking loose out on the centre wing position there in Williams. Having trouble controlling it, but eventually does so with the left foot kick towards half forward, and Darren Smith has taken the mark.
Well, he certainly is a kingpin, as we said, and he's working well around the half forward line. Good long kick in, and here's the other bloke we mentioned just a while ago. He had to lift his game, and certainly in this first 5 minutes or so, he's shown that he's a pretty determined young man today.
Scott Hodges directly in front of goal, only about 25 metres out. And Port Adelaide repelling those odd thrusts that North Adelaide have put into their forward line. And Hodges again, the opportunity. Directly in front of goal, taking a little bit of turf. I think he may have missed it. No, the ball has just snuck inside that right goalpost. So the Magpies lead 1-1-7 points. North are yet to score.
Yes, it's been a fairly torrid opening. It's been hard and fast. A few mistakes made, so a few nerves. But Darren Smith, he's a real key for Port Adelaide at centre half forward. He's grabbed that wide out. Hodges has made the strong, determined lead, and good hands from him, which he's shown twice today already. And that was his first goal. So he's kicked 1 goal, 1. All of Port's score at this stage.
So Port Adelaide 1-1-7, lead North yet to score. In the centre once again. Hines up against Redden. Redden won the tap. Forced wide of the pack. Here's a chance for Hutton. He runs onto it, tackled by Sims. Rolls up towards half forward for Port Adelaide. Players overrun it. Here's Blair in defence. Bounces off Rowan Smith. Beautiful smother there by Borlase. He's tucked away in the pocket. Chips in towards Hodges, who spills the mark. He's got support though. Comes in the form of a Port Adelaide teammate. who fires towards goal, but it's offline. And the behind score didn't quite pick that player up.
Yeah, Daryl Borlase it was, David. Yes, and he's working well, having a good season so far. Once again involved there, Scott Hodges couldn't quite grab that one, but he looks confident out there today, and Daryl Borlase did good work.
Marshall again puts the ball back into play to the outer side on this occasion. Up high, Redden, fine mark in opposition to Hines. Quick hand pass, and North will run out of defence. Driving it up towards the half-forward line, towards Bennett. Almost took the mark. Awkward bounce. Here's a chance for Carlaw. From within 50 metres, the left foot kick in towards goal, but has been marked right on the last line of defence by Phelps, and he'll put Port Adelaide out of danger. Player loose on the half-back flank in Abernathy. All the time in the world as he draws Darren Jarman towards him. Back to Abernathy. Port Adelaide fiddling around a little bit, but they have numbers there as the kick from Abernathy towards the centre wing, but a fine mark taken there by Tasker. North eager to get the ball moving quickly with the kick from Ryan in towards centre field. The mark taken there by Stone. Awkward kick towards half forward, and the Magpies has taken the mark through Foster.
It's North Adelaide being forced to rush their kicks too often. They're under a lot of pressure and can't get a good attacking move set up.
Ball's on the outer side centre wing, taken here by Daryl Hart, who's back from injury. Into the centre, Kim Klomp. He did that well, faked the hand pass. He looks upfield towards the youngster in Simon Hill in front. Good thump away there by Phelps. Comes down to Phillips. Back to Jeffrey Phelps. So well played the Magpies. They run it out of defence. Phelps up towards centre wing. And the youngster Wanganeen slips over the handball to another youngster. Simon Tregenza, 2 bounces up towards half forward. He's looking for Darren Smith, but chipping in is Mark Marshall, and a good mark in defence.
From the last line of defence, the kick from Marshall going in towards centre field, and the fine mark taken there for North Adelaide. Redden under towards Sanders to Hart. Awkward kick towards the centre of the ground. Carlaw has the ball punched away. Sims has the opportunity, and his kick will go up towards the full forward area. Hill is on the lead, made good position, and he's marked about 40 metres from goal.
It's a fine young player, Hill, into the North Adelaide side. We've seen him at centre half forward, and of course with Peter Bennett back there today, he's at full forward. There's a dangerous player, judges a mark extremely well, but North Adelaide's credit, a good direct approach to goal.
Simon Hill moves in. The kick has been sprayed way to the right of the goals and through for a minor score. Bad miss, but North trail by 7 points.
Just looking at the sides, unfortunate for North there, they trail by 7, but Daryl Hart back into the side today is a big thing for North Adelaide, and Redden could have the chance to get control in ruck today.
Port Adelaide 1-2-8, North Adelaide 1 point. The mark taken by North Adelaide there. Here's a chance for Sims. He picks up the ball cleanly over to Lehman, gets around Foster. Inside 50, Lehman fires towards goal. He's got Bennett in the pocket, and the big fella takes the mark.
Well, Peter Bennett has taken a well-judged mark, back in at centre half forward there for North Adelaide. And he's a very strong point for North Adelaide, the vice-captain. We'll see how he goes here. He's on the wrong side for a left-footer, coming in from that left-forward pocket. It's tight angle.
Let's see what he does. Peter Bennett, very tight angle, and he sprayed it badly. Out of bounds on the full. Pretty bad effort there by Peter Bennett. The margin's still 7 points.
Yes, there's the North Adelaide bench too, but I think Mike going to be reasonably pleased with the approach of these young fellows so far. They're getting plenty of ball, but they're under a lot of pressure.
Port Adelaide fortunate to get away with the kick now out of defence towards centre wing, and Rowan Smith out in front a little bit. Too much pace on that occasion. Takes the mark, gets around the opponent in Tasker. The bounce is on, and the kick towards the half-forward flank for Port Adelaide towards the city end, but a free kick to North Adelaide. And the recipient will be Trevor Clisby. Centre half-back, no, it's not. It's Blair. So Blair from half-back will take the free kick for the Roosters. Swings it back in a little towards midfield. Players up, Hines and Redden. Free kick to North Adelaide again. Michael Redden wastes no time. Hand pass to Hart. On towards Sanders, sweeping the ball along the outer half-forward flank, looking for Bennett. But it's out of bounds on the full, and John, the North Adelaide players, making quite a few mistakes.
Yes, they are making quite a few mistakes, and the pressure is causing a certain amount of that as well.
Rosonico chips it in short, finds David Hines. It should be a good tussle between Hines and Redden. His short kick is fraught with danger. Here's Carlaw, he's tackled. Lehman doing some tricky work. In fact, that player is Daryl Hart. He's looking for support. Simon Hill on the long lead. Nearly the mark. The youngster did that well. Kept it in front of him. Gets around Phelps. He needs support into Hart, and the skipper takes the mark.
Daryl Hart, as we mentioned, a welcome return to this Port side today. He has the ability to get into the bottom of packs, uses the ball with little short chips on a lot of occasions, and sets things up for them. He made perfect position that time.
This time he goes in short. The lead's on by Bennett. And the big fella takes a good mark. Well, we saw him last week. His first game back against Torrens. He looked like he needed the run, and a fit Peter Bennett will be a lot of value to North Adelaide.
Certainly is. There's no doubt about that, David. He's a very good player. He has strength. His marking appears to have improved this year. His last effort from the left forward pocket wasn't too good, but we'll see how his kicking is today.
He's on less of an angle as he runs in towards goal. He's put it straight through. A great goal by Peter Bennett on league football action, and the margin now 1 point.
That was a good goal by Peter Bennett, and he's been active around that half-forward line so far. The ball coming in, young Simon Hill doing good work, dodging, weaving, Hart in position, and then the nice pass to Bennett. But Bennett is appearing as a danger. He appears to be lively around that forward line at the moment. His marking is good, and that kick was certainly a good one.
Port Adelaide 1 goal 2, 8 points. They lead North Adelaide 1 goal 1 7. Not a lot of breeze here at the Alberton Oval, perhaps favouring the end to which Port Adelaide are kicking in this first quarter by just a little bit, but certainly won't be a decisive part in the game, I wouldn't think, this afternoon. Ball to ground, Redden and Hines. Redden to Hart. Hart's hurried kick from centre field. Phillips the opportunity for Port, taps cleverly towards Tregenza. Awkward kick for the player to mark there in Borlase, who was pushed from behind by Blair, and Port Adelaide now between centre wing on the grandstand side and right half forward flank. Kick now from Borlase into Hodges, prominent early in the game. From behind, it's punched away. Carlaw goes in, can't get it out. Williams appeals for the mark, but Carlaw emerges with it. Feeds the hand pass out there towards Atkinson. Players slipping to the ground. In goes Wanganeen, tries to tap it out. Play's allowed to go on, which is good umpiring until the players fall right on top of the ball. Free kick to North Adelaide, pushed from behind.
Just a little bit lucky, but I think that passenger player is indication of the immense pressure that North Adelaide are under.
Clisby kicks long up towards centre half back. Phillips a big thump away, gives the chance here for his half forwards. In the action there is Williams. The ball was free on centre wing. Ryan, a chance, he's dispossessed. In there hard is Klopp, he's tackled. And the benefit of putting his body in, he got the free kick for the high tackle, and North East gives away a 50-metre penalty.
Well, there's no doubt about Kim Klomp. His courage personified, you know, without fear of any damage. He just bore in there hard, won the free kick, and he certainly is an inspiration to some of these younger North players.
North Adelaide trail by a point. Klopp looked up for Hill at centre half forward. Good judgment shown by Phelps. He backed his judgment, went for the hand pass. Here's Lehman. He's tackled to the ground. He's caught holding the ball. Perhaps a touch unlucky, the free kick to Rowan Smith.
Rowan Smith from defensive side of centre goes towards the middle of the ground, finding Marnie. Foster's caught, but shrugs the tackle off and gets a left foot kick towards centre half forward. Players going in very determinedly as Blair charges through the pack. His kick goes back to centre half forward. North out of position, and the mark taken by Hines. Over towards Phelps. Bad attempt to kick. Sims has possession and caught. North still a chance with through Hart. Here's an opportunity now for Darren Jarman, pursued by Abernathy. Supported there as the ball comes infield towards Atkinson, calling for it. Good understanding between Sims and Atkinson, and he's an opportunity now, but he's a good 55, 60 metres from goal.
North did well to get out of that, and good work by Bennett to Atkinson.
Atkinson looks for Hill. The youngster can't take the mark. Rosonico back there in defence for Port Adelaide. He needs support. He's got Fiarchi out wide. Concedes ground, but George bounds off and kicks up towards Tregenza. Also Sanders. Good spoil by David Sanders. The ball out of play. Left half forward for North Adelaide. A pretty tight first term here at Alberton.
Yes, it is a tight first term so far. There's plenty of pressure out of it. Most of it coming from Port Adelaide on the North players, but to North's credit, they are sticking at it and only trail by one behind.
There's an opportunity for the Magpies through Wanganeen, but the kick brilliantly smothered by Ryan, and it's out of bounds in front of the grandstand. 1 goal 2 Port Adelaide, 1 goal 1 North Adelaide. Bennett gets the tap. Sanders has the kick, but it's an awkward one. No teammate there to gather in. It beats all players to the line and out of bounds.
We're scrambly passenger play at the moment. We've played about 15 minutes, and there's only been 2 goals scored in the entire game, so that's an indication of how tight it is. North Adelaide currently on their left half forward flank.
Port leading by a point. Here's Hines in defence for Port Adelaide. He chips it in looking for Darren Smith. He did that well, just drew Clisby under the ball. Redden's back there. Oh, great work by the big fella. He sets up Ryan though. Good smother by Tregenza. The ball's pretty hot out there. Clisby's tackled by Rowan Smith, and quickly Redden clears. Kicks it very high in the air. Underneath the ball is Klomp. Here's Marnie. Taps it cleverly over to Abernathy. Abernathy kicks up towards centre half forward. Oh, beautiful mark taken by Darren Smith. What a hand pass to Hutton. He's got a player in the square. It's Scott Hodges. He puts on his second goal, and Port Adelaide goes 7 points clear.
Well, what can you say? That was magic football from the Maggies down here at Alberton. Sort of inspirational stuff that you've come to expect from them. Darren Smith once again a kingpin in there. Plenty of courage floating across the front of the pack. Almost a one-hander. Straight on in a flash to Hutton. Hutton the long handball, and the second goal to Scott Hodges. Champagne footy.
Port Adelaide 2 goals to 14. North Adelaide at 1 goal 1-7. Centre field bounce. Hines and Redden. North Adelaide away from the centre of the ground through Carlaw. Putting it out towards centre half forward. Phelps misses when going for the punch. Hill has an opportunity for North. He's pulled to the ground. Players allowed to go on. Phelps again. Caught with numbers. Will clear from defence. Wide to the outer side of the ground. Oh, up high, Darren Jarman. Has the mark been paid? It has. So Darren Jarman will take the mark at centre wing.
A bit of magic from Darren Jarman, and there's been some wonderful individual efforts so far. It's the teamwork that's got to happen, though, for a side to get on top.
In towards centre half forward. Port Adelaide up high. Klomper merges with it. The hand pass, a loose one. An opportunity for Fiachi, but he's pulled to the ground. Pressure football by North Adelaide. But the Magpies will relieve their pressure by putting it towards a half-back flank. Sanders in front of Tregenza. Traps it. Good shepherding by Sims. Allows Sanders the cam ball towards Ryan up from half-back. Awkward kick, and Fiachi will take the mark on the half-back line.
George Fiachi looks out wide. He's got a player in support in Foster. He looks wider. There's Greg Phillips. Phillips kicks up towards the outer side centre wing. Williams is illegally tackled there by Simmons, and he'll take the free kick. He's got a runner in Foster. Pretty bad handball though. Set that player up. Tasker emerges. Over to Carlaw, who's played well in the first term. Roger Carlaw kicks up towards Bennett at half forward. The mark's filled, but tidying up for Port Adelaide. Abernathy. He's dispossessed. The sea of Roosters Guernseys. In the end, Hines. He can't gain clean possession. Scrambly play. Klomp emerges. He bounds up towards the forward pocket, and he's got Simon Hill all by his lonesome, and a good pass.
Well, it's hard and it's tough out there, and North Adelaide at the moment giving as good as they're getting, and looking good. The chance for Hill is wide out in that right forward pocket.
He's looking for leads too, John. Not forthcoming, so he'll fire towards goal. Pretty good kick, but just straying offline, and the mark will be taken. Nope, the behind scored. So the score here at Alberton, Port Adelaide 2-2-14, North 1-2-8.
It's just 1 goal the difference in favour of the Port Adelaide side, but North Adelaide a little bit too indirect. The pressure is telling and keeping them wide. Good work by that Port defence.
So Phelps bringing it out towards or going more or less up the centre of the ground, looking for Northeast, but it's caught him out of possession. It's a race on now. Northeast will win it and swing the ball towards the centre half forward area for Port Adelaide. The mark taken. Hand pass on. The Magpies on the run through Tregenza, but he's got no support, but fortunately wins the ball back. Chips it in short to the goal square. Looking there for Hodges, and Scotty Hodges has taken the mark. He's put it both for Port Adelaide's goals and should kick their third from here.
We've seen some little patches of brilliance out here today from Darren Jarman, from Darren Smith, and that time from Tregenza to set up Hodges.
From the edge of the goal square, Hodges boots it straight through the centre. He's kicked his third, and Port have kicked 3. They're 3-2-20. North are 1 goal to 8.
Young Simon Tregenza, with all the pace that he possesses, he broke away on that occasion. The quick little handball over. It came back to him, and he looked like he was in trouble, but had the presence of mind to get the quick little left foot pass in.
John, North Adelaide look like they're falling apart over the half-forward line.
Yeah, that's the problem for them. They're not bringing the ball in with any great precision because of the pressure they're getting up the ground. And, of course, that doesn't help with your half-forward line because that's your outer attack. You have to get it there cleanly. But Bennett, of course, is a danger there. If they can start getting it in with a bit better fashion, they've got the players to do the job.
Port Adelaide by 12 points. Port 3-2-20. North Adelaide 1-2-8. In the centre, Hines won the tap. Here's Wanganeen. His kick smothered up towards half-forward. Darren Smith tapped it over for Borlase. He got it back, though, onto Wanganeen, who's tapping it forward. He may have got the free kick, but play on was the call. He's back there doing some good work, Gavin Wanganeen, on the half-forward line. He looked to be pushed in the back, but the umpire takes command, the bounce, right half-forward.
Yes, I think Gavin Wanganeen was a little bit unlucky there, but isn't he a brilliant youngster? The presence of mind to keep working that ball forward all the time.
Bounce at half-forward right for Port Adelaide. Opportunity for North Adelaide to clear through Jarman. Hines got an awkward bounce, but trapped it well with the body as it's picked up by Borlase and drives Port back into attack. Oh, up high went Hodges, couldn't take the mark. Ball to ground to Clisby. North will get out of danger through Darren Jarman to the outer side of the ground to Simmons. And Simmons has taken the mark. Looking out wide towards centre wing, the lead from Carlaw. Foster alongside of him, but it beats both players to the line. And we'll see a throw in at centre wing on the outer side of Alberton Oval.
This is some wonderful performers out there today, and the skills of Darren Jarman right on display once again. They kicked from the back pocket, placed beautifully for Peter Simmons, took it and just kept running.
Port Adelaide attacking the city end, favoured by a slight breeze. Hart takes possession, he centres play. Oh, good mark taken by North East. In defence, he plays on. He's got a runner, the lumbering Greg Phillips, did that well. He kicks up towards Wanganeen at half forward. Simmons in attendance. Wanganeen did that beautifully. Over to Tregenza. Back to Wanganeen, who left it behind. But he's fighting hard. Darren Jarman. His handball was loose. It set up a player in Ryan. In fact, that player is Sanders. And he's tackled the free kick at half back. North Adelaide trail by 12 points. David Sanders. He's got possession. Kicks grandstand centre wing. Up high from behind Bennett. Also Phillips. Farming it out as North East. Klomp. Bennett to Darren Jarman. Here's Ryan. Defensive side of centre wing. He boots up towards Carlaw at half forward. He's got space in front of Foster. He's tucked away, pushed to the back. Good defensive work by Foster. The ball's out of play. The left full forward pocket with North Adelaide trailing by 12.
Yes, we've played 22 minutes of this first term. The difference is 2 goals in front of Port, but North keep hanging in there, but they've got to get a better approach to goal.
Here's an opportunity for North Adelaide, but the players can't get the ball away. And we'll see a bounce. Stone emerges with the ball, gives it back to umpire Mackey. And a bounce will take place in the left forward pocket for North.
Everywhere that Darren Jarman goes, Bruce Abernathy is in close attention.
And a free kick will go to Port Adelaide. The recipient, Paul Stringer. He chips the ball short. A player loose in Bruce Abernathy, has escaped the clutches there of Jarman. And he spears the ball up towards the centre wing position, looking for Darren Smith. Geez, hungry for the ball this afternoon is Darren Smith. But on that occasion, he couldn't take the mark. Out of bounds.
Yes, he'd be very keen, Darren Smith, to impress today and to get Port Adelaide back on target. They hate to lose a game of footy, and Darren Smith will be keen to get them back in today. And just while we're talking, wandering along the boundary is David Hines. Obviously has a problem at the moment.
Darren Smith, he kicks up towards half forward for Port Adelaide. The bounce favours Marnie. He's tackled, though. He centres play. Chance here for Tregenza. He looks for support. Had to fire away a goal. Didn't really steady. And it was out of bounds on the fall.
Yes, bad luck for Tregenza. He had David Hutton clear right out in front of goal, and there's a message going out, I wonder, from John Carr, whether it's anything to that effect. But David Hines off the ground at the moment, wandering around the boundary, appears to be injured. Chance for Redden to score in ruck.
The punch away goes back towards the Magpie centre half forward area. North Adelaide putting the numbers on there, but they can't gather it in, eventually do so. Sims will clear. Out towards centre wing on the grandstand side. Klopp's got a nest of Magpies around him. Will he go towards the boundary line? No, he does well. Cleverly played towards Bennett. He's caught. Stringer there, gives it over towards Hart eventually. Klopp the chance. Over to Carlaw. Can he trap it? Yes, he does. Pursued by Foster and North East. But the kick's away towards centre half forward. Blair put out of action. Here's a chance now for Rosonico. Swinging it back infield to centre half back. Phelps the mark. The hand pass to Abernathy. Calling for it is Hutton. Underneath the ball. Oh, almost taking the mark is Jarman. Ball to ground. Hutton now recovers quickly. The kick now up towards half forward left for Port Adelaide. Players up high. Play on, says the umpire. Ball to ground beneath the bodies, and we'll see a bounce at left half forward for Port. They lead by 12 points.
And there's David Hines wandering around the boundary, looking a little bit dejected. He was under a bit of a cloud with an injury prior to the game. It looks as though it may have surfaced, and that gives Redden a chance to get right on top in ruck.
In the pocket is a chance for Marnie. A good thump away by Stringer, I think it was. Marnie runs into the open goal. Hodges off the ground, and he boots his fourth. Also Port Adelaide's fourth. And the Magpies go out to an 18-point lead.
Well, Port Adelaide just appear to have that edge at the moment. They've got the strength, they've got the courage, and they get in there and they win that ball when it's really hard, and away they go. That time it was Marnie emerging after the big thump from Stringer, or Williams, in fact, and from that left forward pocket, he got the handball away, and Scotty Hodges off the ground for his fourth, but they just appear to be that bit better organised. North Adelaide not quite strong enough.
Port Adelaide 4-2-26, North Adelaide 1 goal to 8 points. Stringer gets the tap away, gives Port the advantage. Lehman in pursuit, caught there by Paul Williams. Port Adelaide pressing forward once again as Blair tries to go through the pack. Ball ace, hand pass is loose. Lehman a chance, but he's caught by Hutton. Port Adelaide on the run at the moment, but North have possession. Ball is to ground. Sims caught, plays allowed to go on. Sanders, long hand pass towards Tasker. Supported well by Lehman, who chips it short and finds captain Darryl Hart. Now here's a chance for North Adelaide to get something moving. As a long lead on from Bennett from half forward, and he's taken the mark at centre wing. Swings the ball back in towards centre half forward, looking for Hill. Phelps up high, what a mark. Great mark on leg footy action, and Phelps has taken the mark.
Jeff Phelps, a strong mark from him, performing well at full-back since they've lost Roger Delaney.
The ball's in the centre with Darren Jarman. He looks wide. He's got Bennett out there. So North Adelaide a chance. They trail by 18 points. Peter Bennett, defensive side of half forward. He looks in long. The target will be Simon Hill from behind, but in front, a good mark by Foster, I believe.
Yes, it must go to the man in front. He'll come over the top, superior height. This man in front had the first purchase.
Foster chips in short, looking for Williams. Loose ball comes out towards Carlaw, but it's out of play. And John, really, with David Hines off the field, it leaves the rucking wide open. We've got Stringer up against Redden now.
Yes, it's an unenviable task for the young man Stringer against Mike Redden, who's got heaps of experience and one of the best ruckmen in the competition. It'll be interesting to see how he handles it, but of course there is the opportunity for North to get right on top in the rucking duels.
So from that throw in, the players force the ball back over the boundary line, and it's bottled up on that right half forward flank for North Adelaide, kicking into a slight breeze and trailing by 18 points. Here's a chance for the Roosters as Sims puts it in towards the full forward area, but once again we find that Port Adelaide's defence a little too strong. Phelps mark, hand pass on towards Biachu, driving them back towards the centre of the ground. Mark not paid, Grimsley charges through the pack, goes short in towards the half forward, looking for Bennett, who's been prominent, and Peter Bennett has taken the mark. Left half forward, 65 metres from goal. He'll put it within goal-scoring distance as players set themselves for the mark. Stone makes his way to the front of the pack, couldn't mark. Hart scouting at the bottom of the pack, gathers, kicks towards goal, and he's put it through. Well done, Darryl Hart. North have kicked their second. They trail by 12 points.
Well, that's the value of the captain, back into the side today, and how often do you see him at the bottom of those packs right in front of goal, and he appears while he's bent over with the ball, he can weave his way through bodies and find that little bit of clear space. And once he finds it, he manages to kick pretty accurately on most occasions, and he certainly did on that. So North now trail by just 2 goals.
Into time on in the first term. Port Adelaide 4-2-26, North 2-2-14. In the centre, the bounce favours Redden. He hooks it back for Carlaw, but the free kick is found on play. It'll go to North Adelaide and David Sanders. Defensive side of the centre circle. He's played well, David Sanders, on Tregenza. Pretty even tussle in the first turn. The kick up towards centre half forward. It falls free. Here's Klomp onto Tasker, who's dispossessed. Bodies go in hard. Foster the tackle at Lehman. Gets it out to Atkinson. He's got a player free in the pocket. That's Sims, but it doesn't go towards that player. In fact, the free kick is now found, and it'll go to Troy Lehman. So, an opportunity for North Adelaide. Lehman's foot pass is a good one. Hart couldn't take the mark. Fiarchi back there. Sims. Here's Northeast onto Foster, and Port Adelaide clear. The quarter-time siren sounds here at Alberton, and Port Adelaide hold a 12-point lead.
Commencement of the second term with Port Adelaide leading 4-2-26 to North Adelaide, 2 goals to 14. A great game. Hines. North will go forward with the kick now from Sims towards the half-forward line. But the mark, not paid. Atkinson went with the hand pass, but it's smothered. Carlaw there for North Adelaide. The Roosters go forward even further. Here's a chance for Peter Bennett running over the half-forward line into the open goal, and he's put it through. Great work by North Adelaide. Bennett's kicked his second, and North Adelaide have kicked their third, and they trail by just 6 points. Well done, Peter Bennett.
It's important for North Adelaide to get away to a quick start in this second term. They were in a bit of strife with the chance of Port perhaps running them over, but this guy Peter Bennett has been very prominent at centre half forward. His strength and marking has been very important, but he's been well out from goal on most occasions, and they've broken down at full forward. That time he grabbed the ball and had the chance to sprint away.
So the margin 6 points, Port 4-2-26, North Adelaide 3-2-20. In the centre, Redden leapt up pretty high, got the tap down to Hart, who was tackled, but the bounce will occur the attacking side of centre for North Adelaide.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in those ruck duels. David Hines is back on the ground at the moment. We'll keep our eye on to see if he does have an injury problem, but Redden, of course, has the chance to dominate in that position.
And Redden gave away the free kick to Hines, who takes it, kicks off the side of the boot. It rolls free. Chance here for Lehman in front of Hutton. He's tackled. Hutton gains possession now. Gets it over, intended for Borlase, the hand pass, beautifully intercepted by Darren Jarman. He boots it up towards half forward. Chance here for Hill, couldn't take the mark. Crumbing it beautifully was Klomp. The snap towards goal is offline. Falls short, and Fiachi takes it out for Port Adelaide.
Towards the centre of the ground, taken by Stephen Williams. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Tregenza's got a paddock to run in. He's had a couple of bounces. He'll keep running. That's 3. As he drives it in towards full forward, looking for Darren Smith. Blair from behind thumps the ball away. Here's a chance for Port Adelaide. Leading in the race is Paul Williams, but it'll go to the line and out of bounds, right forward pocket for the Magpies.
Well, doesn't Simon Tregenza love to run? He had a paddock, as you suggested, David, and he bolted 3 or 4 bounces, and Darren Smith not quite equal to the attack.
Boundary throw in, right forward pocket for Port Adelaide. Here's Tasker. He gets the handball over to Sanders. Play on the call, though. The advantage played. Sanders, the outer side halfback flank, kicks it up towards centre wing. The thump away by Bennett. The ball hits the ground, taken by Hines, who's on the ground now. He kicks around his body, looking for Tregenza, but the ball beats both players out of play, right half forward.
It's David Hines. We're keeping an eye on him. He is on the ground, as you say, in this term, and he's moving fairly freely at the moment, but Port will need him to remain sound.
Throw in. Darren Smith does ruck duties. Redden will win out. North Adelaide now up to Hart, centre wing, taken by Foster, swings it towards centre half forward for Port Adelaide, going to the Alberton overland, the Alberton end. Rowan Smith on towards Hart, and another hand passes on to Hodges in the goal square, into the open goal. Hodges has kicked 5. We've only played 3 minutes of the second term, and the Magpies lead by 12 points.
Well, what a fabulous effort from Port Adelaide. They're one of these sides that just drive in until they win that football, and they run in packs, and they had players that are used. They brought it from the centre wing all the way through with a series of handballs. Good support of the ball every inch of the way. And on the end of it, of course, Scotty Hodges kicked his 5th. We suggested that his confidence might have been down a little bit after a brilliant opening against Central District, but gee, hasn't he come back today? He showed signs early with a couple of good grabs and goals, 4 of them in the first term. Now with 1 at the 3-minute mark in the second term, he's kicked his 5th.
The Magpies by 12 points. Port Adelaide 5-2 to North 3-2. See what the Roosters can do now. In the centre, Redden left high once again. The tap went straight to Williams, though. Carlaw's in there burrowing hard. Geez, he's a tenacious player, John, and he gets to the bottom of the pack on many occasions.
Certainly is, and that's what North Adelaide need. They haven't got enough experience and enough strength around the pack, so they need these people to drive in hard.
Magpies by 12 points. Foster takes possession off the pack up towards half forward. Chance here for Darren Smith. Back there in defence, Clisby. He's dispossessed. He gives the opportunity for Port Adelaide. Marnie, beautiful tap onto Williams. Here's going to be Hodges' 6th goal. No, it won't. He couldn't pick it up cleanly. He's tucked away in the left full forward pocket. All he had to do was take clean possession, and he would have booted his 6th.
Well, it was almost an instant replay of the previous goal that went to Scotty Hodges, which was his 5th. Opportunity for his 6th, but he fumbled it. But Port are running in packs.
From the throw in, Hart emerges with the ball and takes it out of danger for North Adelaide as Jarman breaks loose from the centre in front of Abernathy. Gets around the player on the mark in Abernathy. He's going to run with the ball to centre wing, left-footed up towards the half-forward flank. Players on the lead. Rosonico punches away towards the line and out of bounds on the left half-forward flank for North Adelaide. 5-2 Port, North 3-2, North going to the Cheltenham end.
Yes, the North need to keep in touch with Port Adelaide in this term. The latter part of the first term, Port appeared to be going to break away. And at the moment, they also look set to go. So North have got to really keep a tight rein.
And from the boundary throw-in, as Shepherd allowed Williams the chance. He breaks the tackle onto the boot quickly, but the kick was smothered. And Darren Jarman at the base of the pack. The ball rolls out of play. So Port lead by 12 points and a pretty tight second term here at Alberton.
Certainly is, and the conditions down here absolutely brilliant for football. Overcast skies, no bright sun to worry about. Round about the 19-20 degree mark and no breeze.
So North Adelaide to press forward. Hart had the opportunity but recovered well. On towards Sanders. Had support from Carlo, but it was ignored. And here's a chance now for Carlo, but he's besieged by Port Adelaide players. And pull the ball beneath the body, and we'll see a throw in the left forward pocket for North Adelaide.
Once again, you see how Port Adelaide apply that pressure. North Adelaide just don't have the chance to settle and do the right thing with the ball. They're under pressure all the time.
North in attack. Tapped away, looking for Atkinson, but he can't get it away. A northeast a chance, gives it over towards Stephen Williams. Now here's a chance for Port Adelaide. They've got players on the move, but the kick is an awkward one, and intercepting and taking the mark as Simmons goes across ground. Out towards Ryan. He takes the mark towards centre wing with a kick to Sims, and Sims has taken a mark. Calling for it infield there is Sanders. Takes the mark, plays on very quickly, drives it up towards the half-forward flank, looking for Hill. He's up high. The strength of Phillips is in front, but Hill is quick to recover. Pounces on the ball. Port Adelaide trying to get it out of danger. Atkinson to Klomp. Klomp does the strong work, wins the ball, drives it in towards the goal square area, but up high that Carlo has it punched away by Phillips. And the ball out of bounds in the right forward pocket for North.
Well done, Ken Klomp. He battled, he finally got clear, and I think he was waiting for the hard body to come against him, which wasn't there.
Boundary throw in the forward pocket. Here's Hart. The snap towards goal looks pretty good. It's snuck in, I think, for a major. Yes, it has. Hart's second goal, and North Adelaide's fourth. The Roosters trail by 6 points.
Well, that's what Daryl Hart is all about. A welcome return back into this North Adelaide side today. We saw him get one in the first term under almost identical circumstances. He gets at the base of those packs, right up in that full forward area. If an opportunity comes his way, he very rarely lets it go, and that was certainly no exception. And
in ideal conditions at Albion, it's just 6 points to difference. Port 5-2, North 4-2. Port to go forward. The kick from Wanganeen towards the half-forward flank, setting themselves for the mark. It's Clisby, but coming through there. Port Adelaide driving it up towards the full forward area. Which way off bounce? It's a kick there from Borlase, got the lucky bounce. And Daryl Borlase, quick to reply for Port Adelaide, has opened the margin to 12 points yet again.
Well, we've all heard the expression, when you're hot, and that certainly happened as far as Daryl Borlase was concerned on that occasion. Having a good season, this young fella who's fought to establish himself into this Port side, but coming across the half-forward line, very casual approach onto the left foot, but what an A-grade bounce.
Got to get some lucky ones, John, don't you?
Oh, you certainly do, and there's the bench. I'm sure they're absolutely wrapped.
What a pretty useful off-break for Daryl Borlase. Port Adelaide 6-2-38, North Adelaide 4-2-26. In the centre, Redden up against Hines. Redden's won the majority of the taps this term. The ball is besieged upon by Abernathy, but in the way is the umpire, and the bounce in the centre of the ground. Last year's grand finalists, North Adelaide defeated in the grand final last year by 90 points. Can they revenge that defeat? Here's Hart quickly onto the boot, up towards centre half forward. Leaping high is Klomp. The ball spills free. A free kick found on play. It'll go to Port Adelaide, and Foster in the way. Did that well. Got around the man on the mark and kicks up towards centre half forward. Hodges couldn't take the mark. Off hands, here's Williams. Paul Williams concedes ground back to Marnie. He's tackled. Good work there by Ryan. He allowed Atkinson in. In fact, the play was Blair as he chips up towards centre wing. The spoil on play. Oh, Marnie tries to take Darren Jarman out of the game as Abernathy kicks up towards half forward. And the umpire having a bit of a chat.
Yes, well, you suggested that Marnie tried to take Jarman out. I think Jarman was watching the body, and, well, he got Marnie.
So Port go forward towards the forward pocket. Sims coming across in front, Simmons in front of the pack, and Peter Simmons takes the timely and steadying mark for North Adelaide. Just quietening things down just a little bit. He'll go short, calling for a big Michael Redden, and Redden takes the mark as Marnie arrives on the scene, covers the mark. calling for it there infield. Sanders intercepting. Wanganeen the chance, 60 metres from goal. Hodges calls for it. Will they let the ball bounce? They will. The Magpies have scored another. Wanganeen a goal. And Port Adelaide on league footy action lead by 3 goals.
There are some brilliant youngsters on display at this ground today. When you look at the likes of Tregenza and a few others around the ground, but this young fella Wanganeen is certainly one of them. Had options on that occasionally as he burst across that half-forward line after spoiling the mark attempt by the North player. He had 3 players, Williams and Hodges were 2 of them up in the square, but the kick was accurate and through for his first goal, and Port lead by 3.
So 18 points the margin. Port Adelaide 7-2 to North 4-2. So the Magpies, again, a handy lead. The tap won by Redden, taken by Wanganeen. He was dispossessed, and the youngster really puts the body in. He's at the defensive side of centre, Gavin Wanganeen. He kicks up towards the lead of Williams, Paul Williams, that is. Clisby at the back of the pack, takes possession. He's got support in Carl, or a bad hand pass, though. Paul Williams in there. Emerging Sanders. In support is Bennett as he kicks up over half forward to the open spaces. Back there, Phillips. He did that well, the big fella. Looks across the face of goal. He's got support in the form of Northeast. Oh, Klopp nearly taken out of the game. Hines onto Rowan Smith, and the Magpies repelled.
Out towards centre wing on the outer side of the ground. It's punched away there by Darren Smith. Wanganeen yet again becoming very prominent in this game. The kick goes towards Darren Smith again. Port Adelaide going in hard. North the opportunity through Atkinson. The young fella wins it well and chips it up towards the half-forward flank for North. Bennett pushed to the ground. Play goes on as Hines is in there. Sanders for North Adelaide will get the kick away up towards the forward pocket area. Phillips there punches it to the line, and the ball beats all players over the line and out of bounds left forward pocket for North.
And Robbo, Port Adelaide defence looks to have more body strength for the North Adelaide attack.
They certainly do, and apart from that, they're so organised. Phillips knows exactly what he's doing all the time, and the other players around him read it so well.
Hill won the tap from the throw-in. Comes down to Phillips, who's wrestling a North Adelaide player to the ground. Out there, it is Brody Atkinson, and another bounce will occur inside 50, with North Adelaide trailing by 3 goals. In the second term here at Alberton, football coming to you via league football action on ABC TV. The ball spills free to Sims, who chips in short, looking for the lead of Hill, and a good mark by the youngster. He's taken it within 50, about 45 metres out, and he's aided by a slight breeze.
Simon Hill has been moving around quite well at full forward, but he hasn't been getting a lot of opportunities. They've been coming off the half-forward line and centre line under a lot of pressure. He is a very good mark, young Simon Hill, and no breeze to worry about 40 metres out.
Hill towards the city end. Oh, a shocking kick off the side of the boot. It was way offline, out of bounds on the full, and the margin still 18 points.
Well, when you're playing against a side like Port Adelaide, you cannot afford to waste any opportunities, and unfortunately on that occasion Simon Hill did just that, a wasted opportunity, and North Adelaide can ill afford that.
Greg Phillips will kick the ball back into play from the back pocket for Port Adelaide. Out towards half-back, Hines up high, off hands towards Stone, around the body, towards the full forward area. In comes Rowan Smith, takes a timely mark, and Port Adelaide will get out of danger. They're going short to Rosonico at centre half-back. Gets around Carlaw. He'll have to come wide towards the grandstand side where Fiachi calls for it. Takes the mug. He could put himself in trouble, but he gets the kick away up towards half-forward to Marnie. Tries to keep the ball in play, but can't do so as Blair was there. So we'll see a throw in between left centre wing and left half forward for Port Adelaide.
As we talk about the strength of that defensive unit of Port Adelaide, but also their understanding of each other, and they run to support all the time.
Clisby hands it off to Redden. Here's the runner in Troy Lehman. The attempted trip by Marnie. Lehman bounds away. He kicks up towards half forward. The only chance here for North Adelaide is from Hart, and the skipper takes a good mark. Daryl Hart has booted 2 goals so far. North trail by 3. Inside 50, he kicks long in towards the teeth of goal. Back there, it's chance for Stone, but it's taken out of bounds, and a bit of luck there for Port Adelaide.
Well, unlucky for North Adelaide, I guess, but the ball must have just edged its way over the boundary line, and the boundary umpire obviously in good position because it was a big chance for North.
Throw in North full forward area. Bennett out of the air, has a kick, but it goes through about 4 players. Emerging with it is Rosonico. who'll swing the Magpies out of danger to half-back. In there we find Hutton, supported well by Wanganeen. Prominent up towards centre wing. Fine mark to Williams. Paul Williams takes the mark at centre wing. Along the grandstand side to half-forward, looking for Darren Williams. North with the numbers, punch it to the line, and the ball just across the line in front of the clutching fingers of Darren Smith. Throw in at left half-forward for Port.
Darren Smith there, we see him back into this Port Adelaide side doing wonderfully well at centre half forward. He's a kingpin.
And he takes the ball off the pack. Couldn't gain clean possession. Here's Hutton. He's tackled. Darren Jarman to Ryan. He's got a player out wide in Troy Lehman, who's tackled well by Williams. Gets it off to Carlaw though. Rowan Smith applies a brilliant tackle. The ball is loose on centre wing grandstand side. Rowan Atkinson has got 3 brick walls on either side of him, and he's got nowhere to go.
Look, North Adelaide are just that little bit too slow at the moment. They're not doing things quickly enough. The pressure from Port is immense, and that's what's going to wear North Adelaide down. They've got to break free and fight back hard.
Redham wins the tap. Sims tried to go through the pack but couldn't control it. A chance for Hutton. Ryan's caught too high and will take the free kick. On the defensive side of centre wing, right in front of the grandstand here at the Alberton Oval. Port 7-2, North 4-2. Swings it back in field, looking for Hart. Clomps there also. Hart's allowed to mark. Play on, says the umpire. In comes Fiachi to northeast, around the body. Hitting it to half forward for Port. It runs and bounces awkwardly. Chance for Tasker. Calling for it is Clisby. Infield we find Blair, who'll go back out wide. Looking out there for Sanders. Now here's a chance for North Adelaide. They've got space as the kick from Sanders towards the half forward flank. Big Greg Phillips in front. And the mark has been paid to the centre half-back for the Magpies.
Yes, well done, Greg Phillips, but just a quick observation. Bennett has gone to full forward. Hill has come out to centre half-forward.
Rosonico off the half-back line, kicks it up towards half-forward, but again David Sanders in the way, and John North looked like, again, they're breaking down over the half-forward line.
Well, I think so. They're getting the ball in towards full forward, and I think they put Bennett back there for his extra strength and marking power. We'll see how Simon Hill goes at centre half forward.
Stephen Williams gets it on to Marnie. Here's a go for the Magpies. Tregenza chips it in short to accommodate Darren Smith, who bounds away inside 50. He chips towards goal. What a great goal on Leeds football action. Darren Smith first, and the Magpies lead by 4 goals.
Well, there's no doubt about the Magpies. We keep talking about their ability to apply pressure and to frustrate the attacking attempts by North Adelaide. But once they break free, they're absolutely magic to watch. They swept the ball down that outer side there with players prepared to run, support the football, create spaces. Then Darren Smith from centre half forward, a brilliant effort from wide out.
So Port 8-2, North Adelaide 4 goals to the Magpies. Looking good as we go to the 18-minute mark of the second term. Centre bounce, emerging with it is Stephen Williams, out to Tregenza. Puts it towards the Magpies half-forward line. Tapped away back by Darren Jarman. Chance for Klomp to Hart, back to Klomps. Good football. And North run it forward, up towards the half-forward flank as it's punched away by the Port defence. Fiachi traps it cleverly, gets through the pack and gets boot to ball, but there's nobody there to support him, and the mark taken for North by Tasker. He'll put them back into attack. Yet another opportunity, but Port there in numbers, and Fiachi has taken the mark.
A hopeless effort. You saw that kick come in and just went to a nest of Magpies, and no excuse for that. They should do better than that, North.
Rosonico kicks it up towards centre wing. Fortunate bit of luck there for Carla as he plucked it off the pack. He fires it in towards full forward. But back there in defence, a good mark taken by Greg Phillips.
Well, what do you do when things like that happens? This bloke, he's huge. He's been a great centre half back for Port and Collingwood over the years, and what a pair of hands.
Rosonico again. He's played pretty well in defence, Paul Rosonico, with a good mark taken by Bradley Ryan. So North Adelaide a chance to go in once again as the lead's on from Bennett. Badly put to him though. The ball spills free. Good play there by Klomp. Here's Redden. Floats the handball over to accommodate Atkinson. Hart. He's got a runner in the pocket. It's Troy Lehman. The chip towards goal looks pretty good. It was just offline. And the margin now 23 points.
Once again, North Adelaide, yes, they are peppering away. They've been attacking incessantly in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Port went down once very cleanly in gold. North Adelaide, they're frustrated. The pressure is there, and they just cannot get that clear shot at goal. That time Lehman was forced to come in from the right forward pocket They've got to get that stronger attack straight down the centre.
20-minute mark of the second term. Port 8-2, North 4-3. The Magpies by 23 points. The fine mark taken out there at half-back by Northeast. Calling for it, Tregenza. Also Williams intercepted there, but the umpire said, no way, that's a throw. So North will take the free kick. Centre wing, Sanders putting them up to half forward. Towards Sims, uses the body well and wins the free kick at left half forward.
Well, let's see what North Adelaide can do. They have to get the ball out into the centre of the ground, out in front of goal, and avoid going into those pockets.
Stephen Sims, he looks upfield, searches for Bennett up there. The thump away by Hines. The ball spills in front of the pack, taken by Hill. Here's Lehman. He chips in towards goal. It's going close, but again offline. So they're decreasing the margin. It's now 22 points, but we're approaching time on in the second term.
You can't doubt the endeavour by North Adelaide. There's plenty of attack, there's plenty of spirit about what they're doing, but Port Adelaide, just that extra bit of strength and composure.
From the kick in, it's Greg Phillips taking the mark. Port Adelaide working the ball out of full-back area, out towards the half-back flank. Abernathy now. Swings it towards the centre wing position. Darren Smith there, also Wanganeen. Clomp the chance for North Adelaide at the bottom of the pack as usual. Sims the opportunity now. Player calling for it at half forward is Hill, but there's two Port players there. They keep it in play cleverly. Abernathy now from half back in towards the centre of the ground for Darren Smith. The mark, well done, in front of Clisby. This will be a great duel, but the honours with Darren Smith. Over to Rowan Smith, calling for it for Archie at centre wing. Port to go forward. Up to the half-forward line. They're in the position. Intercepted well by Ryan. Off the half-back line. Hart there. Carlaw. He'll win possession. There's Lehman waiting for it. He's got a player coming off the centre wing position in Atkinson, and he's taken a mark on the defensive side of centre wing.
Brody Atkinson looks up towards Blair at the half-forward line. Hill in there. Blair takes possession. He's ridden to the ground by Phillips. And the umpire says he was held on to. Phillips and Blair having a bit of a chat. I'm pretty sure who'd win that argument, John.
Well, they're exchanging vows or something there, and well, big Greg Phillips, he just isn't impressed. He said this guy was holding the ball. But anyway, Jason Blair has a chance to put North in again, doing a lot of attacking, not doing it quite well enough.
Roosters trail by 22 points. Blair looks up towards Bennett. Offhands brilliantly, sharking the ball was Lehman as he chips the ball in towards the full forward area. Here's a goal for North Adelaide through the big fella in Mick Redden, his first goal. And the margin now 16 points.
Yes, 16-point margin. Once again, North Adelaide coming in from wide. But as I say, to their credit, they keep on keeping on. They're pushing in, they're going in, they're coming in from wide out, which is bad for them. But on that occasion, Lehman popped the little kick. He didn't go for the goal. He popped it to where he knew he had two against one defender. And big Mike Redden picked it up and put it through.
24 minutes gone in the second term. Port 8 goals, 2-50. 16 points clear of North. 5 goals, 4-34. Hines the tap away. North have numbers there. They let Sanders gather it in and put it up towards their centre half forward area. Hill almost took the mark. It's to ground. Swooping on it there is Stone. In towards the full forward area, one-on-one. Ball punched away. Lehman and Foster. Lehman in front. Foster uses the body. In there also Rosonico, and another player able to get the ball away, and we'll see a bounce between right half forward and right forward pocket for North.
And Robbo, Troy Lehman's provided a lot of bite from his centre wing.
He certainly has. He's got plenty of pace, young Troy, of course son of a former champion in Kim Lehman, but yes, he's doing well off his centre wing.
In defence for Port Adelaide, Hines. Here's Darren Jarman, and bodies over the ball in between centre half forward and full forward, with North Adelaide attacking the city end.
Port Adelaide playing by far the better brand of football here when they had the opportunity to break away. They have the strength on their side and experience. But North Adelaide, to their credit, are hanging in there. They're only trailing by 16 points.
The bounce. Wanganeen can't take clean possession. In there also is big Greg Phillips at the base of the pack with the ball is Todd Stone, but another bounce will occur. So 16 points in it. Port Adelaide lead just into time on in the second term. The bounce. Redden wins it. Rosonico emerges. He did that well. He kicks up towards centre. Williams and Ryan, and the mark taken by the latter. Bradley Ryan in defence. And
Ryan's played well on that half-back line for North Adelaide, but that kick put it hard under a lot of trouble. Port Adelaide putting the pressure on now. Carlaw and Blair. Carlaw's allowed to gather up and get in towards centre field, but he's got Port Adelaide players coming from everywhere. It comes now towards Blair. but he kicks back towards half forward. Lehman's there, punched away by Rosonico. Klomp has it. Opportunity for Stone, but it goes through his legs and he's pushed to the ground, and he can't get it away, and we'll see a bounce between right centre wing and right half forward.
Too often the way the ball is coming in from North Adelaide is just a gift for these Port Adelaide defence. They're just jumping on it with glee. High kicks coming in and not particularly well directed. Bit of a fight on behind plays, centre wing. And a do-si-do, round you go. Looks like a bit of a square dance there as umpire Michael Abbott comes in to separate the partners. Perhaps someone was dancing with somebody they shouldn't have.
Well, Darren McKay's come on the ground and he's had a bit of a word to Bradley Ryan, and all of a sudden number 14 for Port Adelaide in Wayne Marnie was in the fray. But the plays with Rowan Smith in defence. He chips in towards the centre of the ground, 2-on-1. Tregenza. Here's Darren Jarman. He's got to play it loose at half forward in Simon Hill. He needs support. He chips in towards the pocket. A teammate makes space there in Peter Bennett around his body, looking for Atkinson against Fiachi. Atkinson handballs to accommodate a player in the square. That player is Todd Stone, and North Adelaide reduced the gap to 12 points.
Well, North Adelaide with persistence. Once again, to their credit, they're just doing everything wrong, but occasionally they pick up a goal. That time Simon Hill went very wide, almost out to that scoreboard boundary to get it to Peter Bennett. He hooked it in, but a good effort from Brodie Atkinson. Kept at his task, stopped it from going at a play, tapped it over the top where Todd Stone swooped on it. The difference is now only 10 points. 4 goals kicked per side in the second term. Port lead 8-2 to North 6-4. 10 points the difference. We've played a minute and a half of time on. Ball to ground. Tucked away by Hines. Coming through Sanders. Good support there by Hart. North will go forward again. They build up towards the half-forward line as it's punched away by Bennett. Here's Atkinson at the bottom of the pack, but he's got nowhere to go with the kick. It heads in towards the pocket. Fiachi back towards Atkinson. He's on the run, deep in the right forward pocket. He goes on that goal at the Cheltenham end, but it's offline, and a minor score to North Adelaide. Port lead by 9 points. It's once again coming in from wide, North Adelaide. They've got to get the ball out into the centre of the ground. Only trail by 10 points, and they're doing a lot of attacking.
In fact, 9 points the margin now. Port Adelaide lead. The ball's on the outer side, half forward flank for North Adelaide, but it's seen out of play. So Port 8-2-50. North Adelaide 6-5-41 with 2 minutes into time on in the second term. Boundary throw in. It's won there by Redden. Here's Tregenza. He kicks up towards centre wing, but a good mark taken there by Trevor Clisby, who's played pretty well on Darren Smith. Support coming from Jason Blair, but a bad kick off the side of the boot, and it's out of play.
There's no excuse for that. That's atrocious. Just when North have got a chance to get right back into this game, and Blair on a couple of occasions has kicked badly.
And from that kick that's taken by Ryan, he gives it towards Sanders. North go back into attack again up to their half-forward flank. Oh, Phillips from behind, fine mark, supported by Fiachi. Nope, it's going the other way. Oh, Fiachi's not too happy. Got to get it back quickly, otherwise 50 metres will give North a goal. He's done that. So we find Blair with a chance. Stone it is. Onto the lead there of Bennett. Bennett in the pocket is marked. Perhaps not so much in the pocket. He's out on a 45-degree angle. North trail by 9 points. And a goal is with the 3-minute mark of time on. Should be a valuable one.
Well, it'll be a very valuable one if he gets it. Peter Bennett has been a real kingpin up forward. In the first quarter, he marked well. Noonan, I think, was a good move. Put him back into full forward, where his marking is still a strength. He led well that time. Chance for his third.
Peter Bennett lines up the goal, puts it on its way. Will it keep inside? It hasn't, and he's missed. So it's 8 points in favour of the Magpies.
Just unfortunate for North Adelaide. They have attacked incessantly in this term. In fact, they've had the better part of the game played in their end of the Alberton Oval. Port Adelaide, when they've gone in, have been much smoother. They've got the score on the board, but North Adelaide are trying desperately.
The Roosters 2 more scoring shots than Port Adelaide, but they trail now by 8 points. The ball's with Port Adelaide in defence, kicked up towards centre wing. Here's Fiachi, he's pushed in the back, not paid by the umpire. North Adelaide to go in once again through Redden. He chips in towards the pocket. Back there in defence is Phillips. He's brought to the ground by an opponent who's still on the ground, but it's out of play. Just to the right of the scoreboard, that player's still down. With a gash over his head, it looks like Daryl Hart.
Yes, it's Daryl Hart back into the north side today, recovering from bruised ribs, but a hard clash, possibly hit heads when they went into tackle. And look at that left eye. She's been split open, something terrible.
So a fortunate An unfortunate piece of luck there for North Adelaide, because we saw him go off in the opening game, Nipper.
Yes, we did, and it was some bad luck in that game too, and Daryl Hart looks to be in a pretty bad state at the moment. Unfortunately, with blood, he can't really see where he's going, and at this stage in the second term, North have it in attack, and glad to see him come off the ground. The siren has sounded as the ball was thrown in, and Daryl Hart coming off the ground there, and looks to be in a lot of trouble. But John, as you know, sometimes blood makes things look a little bit worse. But the score at half-time, Port Adelaide 8 goals 2, 50 points lead North Adelaide, 6 goals 6, 42.
We have Redden up against Hines. They've been rucking virtually all day, both of them. Hines went off for a brief time in the first term. The kick up towards half-forward for North Adelaide, kicked off the ground by North East. Here's Jason Blair, kicks to centre half-forward. Back there, Phillips. No support, though. Met heavily. Good hand pass finds Fiarchi. He searches out wide for Phelps, and Port Adelaide clear as Phelps chips in short, and Darren McKay, a good diving mark.
So McKay now on the half-back flank for Port Adelaide, putting it towards centre wing. Looking down there for Borlase, and Borlase has taken the mark. Port will press forward to the Cheltenham end. Up to half-forward towards Darren Jarman. Oh, Marnie over the top. Mark Wanganeen the opportunity, fires towards the lead of Hodges. He drops the mark he should have taken. Wanganeen backs up, bundled out of the way there by Sims. Simmons mops up and swings play across field towards Tasker in front of Rowan Smith, who hasn't played prominently in the game today. And the kick from Tasker goes wide out towards the centre wing on the outer side and over the line, and a throw-in will occur.
Well, this is the important quarter in this game down here. North Adelaide are hanging in there. They lack a bit of experience and strength. Port Adelaide renowned over the last couple of seasons for coming on very strong in the third term. So this is the real danger period for North Adelaide.
Boundary throw won by Hill, but it was taken by Phillips, who's ridden into the ground. And the veteran will get the free kick at half-back on the outer side for Port. He's played pretty well. He's called to play on by umpire Abbott. He kicks in, pretty sloppy looking kick though, up towards Rowan Smith, and it's taken out of play. So the margin's still 8 points, Port lead.
I noticed that young Adam Saliba is onto the ground for North Adelaide, starting in a forward pocket. He'll probably have a run on the ball, but it's up forward where North Adelaide have to get a bit more organised.
Chance for Marn. He's got support there from Hutton, but he can't control it. Eventually does. Abernathy looking there for Stephen Williams. Abernathy again. Sims will mop up for North Adelaide. If he can gather it in, he does.
On to Darren Jarman, who chips in short to the centre wing. The pass is a beauty. Here's Carlaw. He looks further afield to Todd Stone at half forward. Nearly on the second attempt. Back there, Phillips. He's paddling towards the boundary line. In attendance also Klomp, but it's out of play. Right half forward for North. They trail by 8 points, and as you mentioned, John, it's crucial for North Adelaide to win the game to get into attack early.
Well, centre half forward and full forward have to become high points for them, and they have to run and support. It appears as though Bennett is starting at full forward in the second half, and Hill out to centre half forward.
North East kicks into the centre of the ground, and a fine mark taken by Tregenza. He had Fiarchi running, but good defensive play by Saliba as the chips in towards the centre of the ground, and the mark taken by Hutton. He's got North East out wide, the run-up. A tumble punt kick up towards half forward, and Lux of Fortune, the mark taken by Wanganeen, and a 50-metre penalty. It was tapped out of his hand by Peter Simmons.
Yes, exactly right, David. Peter Simmons just tapped the ball out of the hands of Wanganeen. Umpire Mark Mackey saw it, and rightly so. It's 50 metres, and Wanganeen a chance to certainly put a goal on the board. It'll be his second if he does.
And the Magpies currently lead by 8 points. Wanganeen runs into the open goal. He puts it through. His second goal, and the margin now 14 points the Magpies way.
Well, North Adelaide can ill afford that sort of thing. That's silly. You could see it quite clearly that Peter Simmons knocked the ball out of the hands of Wanganeen after he'd taken the mark and made it a certain goal. North Adelaide have missed a few easy ones themselves, but on the other side of the scale, they can't afford to give easy ones away. They battled hard and determinedly in that second quarter, to go in only trailing by 8 at half-time. They've got to be careful. The third quarter is a big danger, and there we see Daryl Hart. He's back on the ground, still a bit of blood showing, looks okay.
Port 9-2, North 6-6, red in the tap. Rowan Smith kicks towards North East, who goes back towards half forward for Port. In front there, ball ace, mark not paid. Players stack up over the top of the ball. And we'll see a bounce between centre and half forward for Magpies.
North Adelaide got a bit of a strange setup up forward at the moment. They've got Hill at full forward, Bennett just 20 metres or so in front of him, and Stone is on Phillips around about the centre half forward area.
So another bounce to occur, a bit of scrambly play there. There hasn't been a lot here this afternoon. It's 14 points in favour of the Magpies. Ball to ground. Redden over the head to Sims. Awkward kick out in front of Darren Jarman, who got an awkward bounce. Through went Foster, but couldn't gather it in. And a free kick will go to Port Adelaide. And it's Daryl Borlase. Quickly on with play towards half forward. Down there, oh, up high, Tregenza, what a mark. Well done, Tregenza.
Oh, that's a brilliant mark. What a brilliant youngster he is. He and Wanganeen are the real up-and-comers in this Port side. What a great effort.
So off the 50-metre line, he puts it on its way towards the goal square. Players set themselves for the mark. Off hands, it comes down towards Port Adelaide, but they can't gather it in cleanly. The umpire forced to take another bounce right on the edge of the goal square line in the Port Adelaide full forward area. 9-2, Port, North 6-6.
So a chance here for Port Adelaide. A big pack of players around the ball. Up high, Redden tucking it off the pack beautifully. Darren Smith, but the free kick will be given to North Adelaide, I feel, and Mick Redden, the recipient. For the moment, the crowd at centre wing went up, all the Magpie supporters, but the free kick was there in that ruck infringement, and the margin's still 14 points. The ball being retrieved.
The danger there with Darren Smith. He takes a lot of the ruck work in the forward line and used his strength on that occasion. Good skills, but just infringed.
Mick Redden favours the outer side halfback flank. Big mark taken over the top there by Hutton. And he'll put Port Adelaide deep into attack once again. He looks to play on, but he's got no runner. So he'll go back and aim for the lead of Scott Hodges, who's booted 5 goes so far as he kicks it towards full forward. But up high, the pillar of strength for North Adelaide in defence, and the mark taken by Redden. He plays on to Hart. In fact, that player is Sanders. He's got good support in the shepherd of teammates in defence. He kicks up towards centre wing, looking for Lehman, 2 against 1. It wasn't a good kick, and the ball forced out of play. 14 points the margin, the Magpies lead.
It's the Magpies lead, and looking strong at the start of this term. North Adelaide have to start generating things from across the centre of the ground to set their forwards up.
7 minutes gone in the third term, as North Adelaide now with the opportunity through Carlaw. Runs plenty of distance and kicks up towards half forward, but they're out of position, the North forwards, and the mark taken by Phelps. So from half back, brought back towards centre wing, and the mark taken for the Magpies by Stephen Williams. Hasn't been prominent this afternoon. Finds a player there. On towards Rowan Smith. The lead on from Darren Smith, and he's marked 30 metres out directly in front of goal. So Darren Smith, who's booted 1, that was kicked during the second term. And he'll be very anxious to widen the margin to 20 points for the Magpies. Taking plenty of time over the kick, Darren Smith adjusts the socks, retrieves the ball, and lines up for goal from 30 metres out, directly in front. No breeze here at Alberton now as he moves in, chips the ball on its way towards goal. I think he might have kicked it. He has. He's put it through for his second, and the Magpies lead by 20 points.
Yes, danger signs for North Adelaide. Port only led by 8 points at half-time. We've only played 7 or 8 minutes now in this third term. They've already opened a 20-point gap, but didn't they move the ball beautifully? Williams from half-back into Hutton, the running support of Rowan Smith onto Darren Smith. The big fella has potted his second.
Port Adelaide by 20 points. The Magpies 10-2 to North, 6 goals, 6. Redden, who's been rucking well all day, with a tap one on that occasion by Hines. Wrestled to the ground was Daryl Borlase, and he'll get the free kick. He's got support in Abernathy. He swings the ball in towards centre half forward. Darren Smith, also Marnie. Here's Jason Blair, who's legged, unseen by the umpire. Sims, who's got support in Mark Marshall, and he rebounds off half back. Looks for his skipper in Daryl Hart, who's behind Fiacci at half forward. He can't gain clean possession. He's got no support though. Good defensive work by the Magpies. But Borlase is put under pressure by a sloppy hand pass. Hines back to Foster. The ball's pretty hot out there. Saliba, the new player on the ground, is there. So it's right half forward for the Roosters. A bounce will occur. North Adelaide trail by 20 points.
Game is in the balance at the moment. Port Adelaide look as though they're going to run away with it. This is where North Adelaide have to really tighten up, push hard, and get back on even terms.
Bennett to do the ruck work to Hart. Here's a chance for North Adelaide, waiting for the bounce. Phelps, supported well by Rosonico. Player loose is Northeast, and we find an infringement behind play, and Todd Stone has had Rosonico put to ground.
Yes, Rosonico got the hand. Northeast, he bound away, but behind play, Todd Stone got into the back of him, and as you can see, rubbing the right ear there. That'll be a bit tender tonight.
So Northeast with a kick towards centre wing. On the lead, Darren Smith. Simmons in front, and Peter Simmons has taken the mark for North Adelaide at centre wing, perhaps just on the defensive side somewhat as he goes in towards centre field. Abernathy and Tasker. Off hands to Rowan Smith. Calling for it in the centre is Fiarchi. Here's Port Adelaide with a chance through Rowan Smith. Good backing up football. Hutton now from half forward. Inside half forward. Pulled to the ground at the last moment. Got the awkward kick away to the pocket. And the ball out of bounds, right forward pocket for Port Adelaide, who lead by 20 points.
Once again, very much in evidence the ability of the Port players to run, to make spaces, to support the teammate, and they move it very smoothly.
Boundary throw in. The tap is one in front by Wanganeen. Off the ground is Marnie. Gives the chance here for McKay. He's got Ryan in hot pursuit. He kicks around his body, centres play, but a beautiful mark taken in defence by Roger Carlaw. He's played pretty well. He does a lot of the physical stuff out there for North Adelaide. They trail by 20 points. Carlaw favours the outer side wing, looking for Stone, who had his number taken a few moments ago. Here's Lehman, back to his skipper and Hart around his body. Got no support up the half-forward line, though, North Adelaide, and it's forced out of play again. They break down over that half-forward line.
You're exactly right, David. They're just not generating anything through there. They have Simon Hill back at full forward. They seem to have Bennett slotted in between him and centre half forward, and Stone is patrolling around the centre half forward area.
4-10-2, North 6-6. The ball at half forward for North Adelaide, and that's where play will come to a temporary halt, and we'll see a bounce across that half forward line. North are going towards the Alberton end in the third term. Ball to ground up high. Hines, beautifully done. And Port Adelaide go forward up to their half forward line, but intercepting well Bradley Ryan, who's been a fine player for North this afternoon. Started strongly and has continued on. His kick is not a good one though. It gives Tregenza the opportunity. Speeds away quickly out into the space, looking for Marnie. He's supported by McKay. He's got a player on the half forward flank in Williams, who's loose. Little slow, but McKay now, the hand pass is going astray from Port at the moment. They're losing it. There's a chance for North Adelaide to bottle the play up on the half-back flank, and that's exactly what they do. And we'll see a bounce at half-forward right for Port Adelaide, but the Magpies a 20-point advantage.
Yes, Port Adelaide playing around with the ball a little bit there on that occasion. North Adelaide defence equal to the task, kept the pressure on.
The bounce, no one really won it. Here's Saliba emerging. He gets it off to Sanders. North Adelaide up towards centre wing, but 2 against 1. Stone in front. Behind is Hart. He did that beautifully in front of David Hines. He chips around the corner, looking for Sims, but aggressive bodywork by Northeast, and the ball's forced out of play. Applause from the defence of Port Adelaide by their members.
That's exactly right, David. Aggressive body work by Port Adelaide. Then they have the players to support and sweep it away.
Throw in on the half-forward flank for North Adelaide. Sims pulled to ground. Saliba goes through, but he hasn't got the ball. Hines picks a big hand pass out to Phillips, and the Giants away, Greg Phillips. He's had a bounce. Into the centre of the ground he goes with a kick out to the half-forward flank to Darren Smith, and he's taken the mark. Play on, says the umpire. Tasker the chance to Darren Jarman. Simmons now will move forward for North Adelaide. They've got to build an attack. Is now the opportunity for Lehman to put it right in towards the full forward area, but Port have 3 there, and Phelps has taken the mark on the last line of defence.
North Adelaide have tried to generate something up forward with the 3 prominent players there, but they're just finding themselves out of position too often.
Foster in defence, chips it in short to accommodate Abernathy, and again the Magpie defence combined well. He looks in to centre field. He's got Wanganeen out wide. In turn, Wanganeen goes towards the grandstand centre wing. Tregenza up against Sanders. He's tackled. He's got Northeast rebounding well from his half-back line. Kicks up towards Hodges. 1 against 1. There's Darren Smith. And the body's over the ball. A bounce will occur about 15 to 20 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal, and they lead by 20 points.
It's the 20-point advantage to Port Adelaide. North Adelaide battling grimly in defence, but the weight of numbers is just getting a bit too much for them.
So Port Adelaide with another opportunity as time ticks away in the third term. 14 minutes gone. Darren Smith does the ruck work. Clisby there with a chance. Stephen Williams over the top of it. Simmons has possession but can't get it away. And the umpire, in fact, has paid a free kick to North Adelaide.
North Adelaide right on top. Is indeed Port Adelaide on top on the two centre wings, and Darren Jarman is quiet in the centre of the ground, and that's where they're generating all their power. And David Hines, despite injury clouds and the might of Mick Redden, is performing well.
As the mark on the centre wing, puts it towards centre half forward, but the mark taken for North Adelaide by Saliba. So out towards Sims, intercepted by Northeast. Sims uses the body, feeds it hand pass beautifully out to Klomp. He's supported now from the centre wing position. They'll go forward from Sanders up towards the half forward line to Hill, and could have been pushed. He has been. Umpire Mackey has seen the infringement from Rosonico, so Simon Hill will kick almost off the 50-metre line. No breeze to kick into. So we'll see the strength of the kick and the accuracy also as to whether he can convert for full points, and North sorely need it.
Certainly do.
So Hill's kick on its way. He's sprayed it across to the left-hand side. It could be through for just a minor score. Snuck in, so it's Port by 19 points.
Once again, Simon Hill caught a little bit beyond his distance, but North Adelaide got a real problem up forward. They're just not generating anything from those key positions.
Jeff Phelps from fullback puts the ball back into play, looking for Rowan Smith. A good pass on the mark is Hill. Rowan Smith looks inboard to the runner in Rosonico. He's going to be tackled. He's caught high but bounces off Simon Hill. Back to Rowan Smith. Shepherd from David Hines as the ball's up towards half forward. Darren Smith couldn't take the mark. On the ground is Bradley Ryan, who's played pretty well for North Adelaide. Off the side of the boot, the kick flews though into the centre of the ground. Carlaw. Here's Abernathy emerging. Did that beautifully, the veteran. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Simmons, he's got a nest of Magpie Guernseys. One is Stephen Williams. He's got support out wide, and Hutton. The Shepherd was on by Borlase. It allowed the hand pass over to Scotty Hodges. And his sixth goal, a great one. Good performance by Port Adelaide on league football action. And the margin now is 25 points.
Well, once again, that's about the third goal that I think Scott Hodges has got by being on the end of a string of handballs. But they fight hard for the ball around the centre of the ground there, or their centre half forward region. They win the hard ball. They have the running support. They're prepared to commit to go and shepherd for the teammate. They create the loose man, and it's all over.
Yes, it makes it easy for the full forward when a defender has got to go and meet the player with the ball and you're left standing in the goal square on your own. Centre field, McKay, hand pass. Abernathy will put Port forward again. Here's Hodges on the lead. It's short, but he traps it well. Rowan Smith, back to Hodges, deep in the left forward pocket. The ball on its way in towards goal, but Blair is there. And Jason Blair has taken a timely mark right on that last line of defence for North Adelaide. With the Magpies 25 points clear, the 18-minute mark of the third term. Now Blair undecided as to which way to go with his kick. He elects to go more or less straight up the centre of the ground, looking for Redden. Comes to the back of the pack. Borlase will put it back into the goal square area. Using the body there is Clisby. Darren Smith, Stephen Williams the chance, puts it in towards goal, but right across the face of goal it goes. Awkward shot and out of bounds in the left pocket.
It's real danger signs as far as North Adelaide is concerned. The gap is now 25 points in favour of the Magpies. They're attacking incessantly, and that North defence is under extreme pressure.
Boundary thrown left full forward pocket for Port Adelaide. Wanganeen almost runs onto the loose ball. Port Adelaide crowd said push in the back. It's worked out of defence by North. He's Bradley Ryan. He searches for Saliba at centre wing. One against Fiachi. Well done by the youngster in Saliba. The move is on. Joe Rack is on the ground. And Simon Hill's off as the ball is stolen by Tregenza. His chips in towards Darren Smith. Oh, a high tackle. No, says the umpire. The offending player possibly could have been Darren Jarman, but the bounce will occur right half forward.
Yes, Simon Hill off the ground, not showing enough strength up forward as far as North are concerned. Joe Rack with his height. Well, let's see if for North Adelaide's sake he can get hold of a couple down there and kick a couple of goals. But that forward line for North is just not functioning at the moment because of the dominance of Port Adelaide across the centre line. They're not getting enough ball up there anyway.
Joe Rack going down into the forward area. Tall player, but the action's on the half forward flank for Port Adelaide as Sims has met high, will win the free kick. Pushed too high and caught too high. So Stephen Sims now from half back for North. Oh, dangerously goes right across ground looking for Blair. They've got to get something moving. Blair is still going backwards. He's got a swing play right to the outer side of the ground towards the lead of Carlo, who drops the mark. Hutton is there, and he's happy to take the ball over the line and out of bounds.
Well, North Adelaide have made some crucial mistakes at very telling times. They've allowed a few easy goals against themselves. When they've had opportunities to get them, they've missed them themselves. That chance, they had the opportunity to sweep down that outer side, but a bad miss by Carlo.
Magpies lead by 25 points. Good play by Marnie to Foster, and Foster, the foot pass, finds Hodges. So a good passage of play by Port Adelaide. Hodges, who's booted 6, will take the shot from inside 50. And it was the strength there, John, of Wayne Marnie that gave Port Adelaide the opportunity to go in attack. We'll get his comment in a moment as Hodges runs inside 50. The shot towards goal is just fading offline, and the behind score.
Yes, David, you're exactly right. One of the big strengths of Wayne Marnie is indeed his strength and determination. He wins a lot of hard balls, and that's value for Port Adelaide.
Ryan's kick in towards the half-back flank, outer side. It runs loose at the back. Blair has a chance for North Adelaide. He's on centre wing. Swings it back towards the lead of Peter Bennett. Starved of opportunities. Gets away from Phillips. Puts himself under pressure. Port will get out of trouble. Foster. Port Adelaide with numbers at the ball to Marnie. Calling for it wide is Rowan Smith. He's got the run of it now. He does take the mark, supported by Tregenza. Sanders late on the scene, looking for Hines. Hines is marked. Note that player, Borlase. Now, Borlase is only 35 metres from goal, and he's booted 1 and should convert his second. No breeze to favour the right or the left or from behind. He should put it straight through the centre from there. He's missed badly. Bad kick for goal, squandered, and Port 11-4, North 6-7.
It's a bit of a let-off there for North Adelaide once again, but a mistake by North around their half-forward line that gave Port Adelaide a chance to sweep it forward, and unfortunately for them, they were just offline.
22 minutes, we're approaching 22 minutes in the third term. Port 11-4-70, North Adelaide 6-7-43. Here's Stephen Sims. He kicks beyond centre half forward. The flyer will be Todd Stone from behind. Fiachi lurking dangerously. Saliba. Phelps. Here's a chance for North Adelaide. They've got numbers but no talking. The understanding was poor. Bennett emerges. The handball accommodates Lehman. The snapshot towards goal looks pretty good. And Lehman's put his first ball on the goal. First goal on the board, I should say. North Adelaide 7th. And the margin now is 19 points.
David Bashir having a bit of trouble with his tongue, but Troy Lehman certainly no problem with that left boot from around half forward, but it was a battling type of goal. At scrimmagey passage of play, it fell free, and Troy Lehman swept on it. Very quickly got the ball to boot and very accurately with the left, so he showed a good deal of skill there.
So 23 minutes into the third term, and Port Adelaide 11-4-70, North Adelaide 7-7-49. It's a 21-point advantage to the Magpies, who have answers to anything North can throw at them. Ball to ground. Redden looking down there for Hart. It's taken away by Darren Jarman, who's been quiet in the third term. Carla will put North forward, out towards Lehman again. Here's a chance for North. Hart the opportunity. Inside the 50-metre line, puts the ball on its way, and it's hit the post. Bad luck for the Roosters. They trail by 20 points.
It's a very bloody Darryl Hart there from that clash in the second term just before half-time, but things are not going quite right from the moment, but at least they're still attacking.
George Fiachi favours the grandstand half-back flank. Possession taken by Tregenza. Slips a quick sleight of hand pass over to Stephen Williams, who chips in towards the lead of Borlase on the attacking side of centre wing. Good combination by Port Adelaide out of defence. Borlase searches for Darren Smith. The lead is on, but back there in defence, a good mark taken by Jason Blair. Off the half-back line, Blair looks to a centre field. The leap from behind by Hines, taking it off hands Bennett. He's searching for a teammate. The support comes from Darren Jarman. On to Tasker, so a chance here for North Adelaide. Tasker looks for Joe Rack. In attendance is Rosonico, and the latter takes the mark. Port Adelaide will repel.
Just the big fella Joe Rack. He's certainly tall, but he's not the most mobile bloke around, and Rosonico read that well.
Puts Port out of trouble, out towards the half-back flank. Trying hard there, Carlo has been a real contributor this afternoon for North Adelaide. And he holds the ball in their attacking area, and the ball out of bounds between right half forward and the right full forward pocket. With Port holding a 20-point advantage, Bennett taps back to Klomp, puts the hand pass through towards Hart, lines up the goal from the forward pocket, I think he might have kicked it to captain. He has. Great play by Daryl Hart on league football action. Hart's kicked his third, and they narrow the margin to just 14 points as we go to time on of the third quarter.
Very good football from North Adelaide. Big Peter Bennett went across and took the tap out the back, and then the clever handball through. Found Daryl Hart with a little bit of space, and as we've mentioned on several occasions, when he's around goal and give him a little bit of space to work with, he's normally very accurate.
So North Adelaide peg back the margin now, 14 points. The Magpies 11-4-70, lead North 8-8-56. The tap in the centre won by Redden. Here's Sims, possession with Hutton. He's dispossessed. Hines onto Northeast, quickly onto the boot to the open spaces at centre half forward. Jason Blair, he's tackled by Darren Smith, play on the call. Clisby in there, emerging as Wanganeen, but he slips over at the opportune time, plays over the ball at centre half forward, and a bounce will occur with the Magpies leading by 14 points.
Yes, an unlucky slip there by Wanganeen too. All the Port players there battled so hard for the ball, and Wanganeen slipped at the vital stage when he was just going to get the handball through to Tregenza, who would have been away.
North still a big chance. Thumped away from Abernathy. Here's a chance for Rowan Smith from the pocket. Puts it on its way. Beautifully done there by Rowan Smith. He's booted his first, and Port Adelaide open the gate yet again to 20 points.
Well, there's no doubt about Port Adelaide as David Hines leaves the ground, and coming back onto the ground is Paul Stringer. But Rowan Smith, ever dangerous when he's lurking around that forward line. The big smash forward from the ruck, and he ran onto it. The left foot once again. Good skills on both sides, Rowan Smith. He's very dangerous around that forward line. Port Adelaide 12 goals, 4-76. North Adelaide 8 goals, 8-56. An advantage of 20 points. We've played a minute of time on in the third term.
So breathing space again for the Magpies, approaching three-quarter time. In the centre, Stringer onto the ball against Redden. The tap won by Redden, snared there by Marnie, but he was well tackled in the centre, and another bounce will occur. A good crowd. Of course, the memory can't be erased, John, of the 90-point deficit North Adelaide had in the grand final last year.
Certainly not, and they're fighting on gamely. They had not as talented a side as what they had that day, but they're certainly putting in here today. But Port just a bit too strong.
Ball at half forward for North Adelaide, but it will be turned away by Fiacci onto Rosonico. Rosonico got a player out loose in Tregenza. He's got pace and he bounds away. He looks upfield for the youngster in Wanganeen, 2 against 1, and a good mark taken by Peter Simmons. Support coming from Darren Jarman, who's been a bit quiet today as he bounds away and kicks up towards centre half forward. Joe Rack from behind takes the mark, but he's called to play on. North Adelaide fans not happy, and the bounce to occur at centre half forward.
The correct decision, David. It came through the hands of the player in front. He certainly made it look good, Joe Rack, and perhaps that's going to be his value if they can get the ball in quickly. But no, right decision.
Bounce. Tapped away. Out towards Sims from the 50-metre mark, in towards the pocket area, over the head of Fiacci and Hart. Here's a chance for Rack, trying to get it towards Hart. Port Adelaide gathered a possession, and a kick from Borlase back towards the half-back flank in front. Tregenza down there, Sanders. Through went Klomp. Picked up Abernathy's kick now. Goes back towards centre wing. North with numbers there, should win out. Ryan does it well to keep the ball in front of him and win the free kick. And young Darren McKay not too happy, but Bradley Ryan, who's played well for North, has the free kick at centre wing on the grandstand side. Up towards the half-forward flank, over the head of Northeast, and the ball goes out towards the boundary line, out of bounds. Left half, between left half-forward and the left-forward pocket for North Adelaide. They're going to the Albert Nen. They trail Port, who are 12-4 to North 8-8.
Yes, with about 3 minutes of time on gone, North desperately need a goal or two if possible towards the end of this quarter if they want a chance of winning this game of football. But it's their attacking area that is disorganised.
From the boundary throw in possession taken by Saliba. He kicks up towards the forward pocket. Here's Rosonico, Northeast. The Magpie defence really combined well, but a bad kick by Northeast falls in the arms of Redden. Here's a chance as Darren Jarman, outside 50. What a shot for goal! He's made it from outside 50, a brilliant shot by Darren Jarman, and a superb goal on league football action.
Well, that's just magnificent. There's no doubt about it. The guy is absolutely brilliant. Redden took the mark, floated the handball over a couple of players. Jarman ran under him with that long loping stride. He's let go with a big bomb from about 55 metres. Classic stuff.
14 points the difference. And whenever Port threaten to run away with this game, North Adelaide keep coming back, but they cannot get closer than that 14-point margin at the moment. Redden again, Saliba a chance. Too many numbers there. Tregenza on the wing will put Port Adelaide forward towards their half-forward line. Tasker across, and Sean Tasker has taken the mark on the half-back flank for North Adelaide. So the north side out of trouble for the moment. Oh, Redden got over the shoulder of... yes, Abernathy, he was all set to break loose on the umpire if he didn't win that one. Abernathy quick to gather the ball in, up towards half-forward. Chance for the Magpies for North Adelaide as they run the ball off the half-back flank as the siren sounds to end the third quarter, with Port Adelaide holding a 14-point advantage. 12 goals for 76 to North Adelaide, 9 goals 8 for 76 to North, 9-8 62. From the opening bounce, it comes out in the direction of Carlo, who's played a good game for North Adelaide this afternoon, but he can't win possession on this occasion. We'll see another bounce.
The way this game has gone today, Nipper, I would suggest that Port should be up by 6 or 7 goals, but North Adelaide, in a determined fashion, have kept hanging in there, and they need to get the first goal at least if they're going to be a chance to win. Chance for Abernathy. High kick towards half-forward. Simmons with body strength wins out against Tregenza and takes the mark. That player Wanganeen looking now out wide. North to go forward. They haven't got enough numbers there. Trying to get it out there was Saliba. Can't do so. North with the opportunity. The Roosters go up towards their half-forward line. Phillips is down there. It's over that player's head. There's Daryl Hart. Took a heavy knock at the end of the second term. Bad cut over the eye, but he's come back strongly. Rack out from full forward. And Big Joe Rack has taken the mark about 40 metres from goal. Well, that's what they need from the big fella. He's got the height. He's got to move around and get under those big bombs that are coming in. And if North want to be a chance to win this game, they have to get a goal out of this. So Rack moves in, important kick. It'll fall short in the square. Body's being used. It's thumped away by the Port defence. Kicked out of the air there by Hart. I think he's got it. He has. Daryl Hart. What a beauty. He's kicked his fourth. It's just 8 points the difference. Captain's goal. Daryl Hart was the man who did it. We've said before that when he's around goal, if he gets hold of that ball, he can find a little bit of space. He normally puts them through. Big Joe Rack could be a kingpin up forward. Stormed out and took the grab, which was incidentally put in by Daryl Hart. And when the big kick went in, he was there to read it off hands and kick through. So the difference is only 12 points.
In fact, 8 points now. Port Adelaide 12-4 to North, 10-8. In the centre, can North come back? Saliba. Here's Klomp. Back to Darren Jarman, who bounds away. He's got pace. Inside 50 on his left foot. He kicks in towards goal. The shot looks pretty good, but it's just offline, and he's so dangerous, Robbo, around those goals. He must be contained if Port Adelaide are going to get on top.
He's unbelievable. Unlucky for North Adelaide and Darren Jarman. He's been a quiet player today, but little passages of brilliance from him are what North Adelaide need.
The ball back towards half-forward for North. Fiachi to Rezonico. Port going backwards. Phelps the chance to get them out of trouble. He does so. Wide out to the half-back flank. Northeast play is not allowed to go, and it must be a free kick to Klomp, surely. Yes, it is.
North will maintain the pressure that they built up right from the start of this term. They're going to have a real crack at it.
Klomp out towards half-forward, looking for Rack again. He's got height, but can't take the mark. Saliba, the opportunity, lines up the goals. He's got no height. It's over the head to Hart into the open goal. He's got another. He's kicked 5. It's 2 points the difference. 1 point the difference.
Well, once again, the Captain Courageous, bounced back from having his head almost split open just before half-time. He's kicked 2 goals early in this last turn to make the difference just 1 point in favour of the Magpies. But Joe Rack, importantly involved again, got the big long arms, tapped it out to young Saliba, who put in a poor kick. But Daryl Hart swooped on the resultant loose ball. The difference 1 point.
We've played 3 minutes in the final term, and what a great scenario to this match. Last year's grand finalists, a big crowd here at Alberton, and just to point the margin, Wayne Marnie trying to rev up the troops in the centre. The tap won there by Redden, taken by Abernathy, kicks around his body to the open spaces at half-forward. First to the ball, Tasker. He looks for touch, but the ball is gathered by Carlaw. Beautiful hand pass sets up Lehman. The chip pass searching for Rack. Out there is Phelps. Rack's doing well. He's got the ball in front of him. The big fella has to go down to pick it up. Lehman, he's got no support in the pocket. And eventually the ball forced out of play. Red-hot pace early in the final term.
Oh, it certainly is, David. It hasn't been the greatest game to look at in terms of brilliant football, but it's been hard, it's been tough. and the pace has stepped up a notch in this last quarter.
And North sense a chance. The kick from Saliba back in towards full forward. Body against body. The mark almost taken by Hart. Fiachi is there. Hart plays the ball in front of him. He's trying to gather it in. It's strong work in that forward pocket. Good pressure football by both sides. Fiachi now gains possession, and the ball eventually goes over the line and out of bounds. Beneath the scoreboard, Port 12-4. North 11-9, a point the difference in favour of the Magpies.
You go a long way to see things like that in football too. Gladiators fighting it out like crazy.
Here's Stephen Sims. The kick is short up towards centre half forward. Maybe turned out by Port Adelaide. Back there is Phillips. He's tackled. Vigorous stuff in North Adelaide's attacking zone, I should say. And the bounce will occur in front of the scoreboard, which shows just a point the difference. Port lead by just 1 point.
Significantly, North Adelaide have been intact for the entire 5 minutes of this final term so far. They're very determined, and Port are the ones at the moment who are having to gather.
And they do so through Fiachi, but he's caught high and will get the free kick and just steady Port Adelaide for just a moment or so. So George Fiachi on the half-back flank, putting the ball towards centre field, towards Darren Smith. Clisby into the back of Smith, and Smith will get the free kick. Defensive side of centre circle, calling for it wide is Northeast. Sets himself for the mark and takes it. Plays on quickly. The kick, an awkward one, in towards full forward. Players up high to mark. Almost, yes, it has been paid to Sean Tasker. The advantage not paid as Simmons went to streak away with the ball. But it's been brought back and Tasker will take the mark. In the goal square, to the outer side, to the half-back flank. Redden's there waiting. Over the top, Hines, big fist away. Close to the line, out of bounds, right forward pocket for the Magpies.
Well, there's certainly been a lot of courage displayed there at the moment. That was a very courageous mark by Sean Tasker. North Adelaide really throwing everything into it at the moment. Port Adelaide are in front at the moment, hanging on.
And a chance here for Wanganede. He gets it on the Marnie, but a bad handball by Port Adelaide lets Blair into the play. He's got support of Marshall, but he's caught holding the ball right in front of goals. Well, Hodges was outnumbered 4-1, but a brilliant tackle has resulted in Scott Hodges having the chance to boot his 7th goal.
So you have to say it again. Unfortunately, the North defence have made a mistake. They had players there. They had support. It was a matter of tapping it on and giving them run. He tried to crash the tackle, couldn't do so.
Hodges 15 metres out, straight in front, and he's put his 7th on the board. And the Magpies breathing space. They lead by 7 points here on League Football Action.
Rightly so. Scott Hodges, 7 goals today and a big comeback to form. But a mistake, I must say it again, by the North Adelaide defence. They've battled hard to get back in even terms in this final quarter. To give away an easy goal like that is a tragedy. Can North come again?
Well, they trail now by 7 points. They sensed a chance just 2 or 3 moments ago. And as John Robinson has said, they've squandered that one to clear the ball. They had the numbers, but the ball back in the centre of the ground. Crowd really lifting, players lifting. Hines gets the tap. Down towards Borlase. He can't break through the pack. It's still going on there as Foster puts Port into attack. Towards the half-forward line. Here's a chance for Wanganeen. He's got a heap of pace. Can he gather in? He slips to the ground, supported by Rowan Smith. He can't get boot to ball. It's close to the line. Playing on goes Simmons, but he carries it over the line and out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Desperation stakes as the crowd looks on. Quite a good crowd here at Alberton today, and they're engrossed in this game at the moment. That is a real battle. Right forward pocket, Port in attack.
And they lead by 7 points. Comes down to Saliba. It's kicked off the ground. Here's Klomp, who's battled hard for North Adelaide. On to Ryan, who's played also a good game for the Roosters. He kicks up towards centre wing. 2 against 2. Foster emerges, overruns the ball. Ryan defends beautifully. He rebounds well off the half-back line. On to Carlaw, who floats the hand pass over to accommodate the runner and Lehman. 3 bounces on centre wing, heaps of pace. Make that 4. Troy Lehman up towards half-forward. He kicks North Adelaide deep into attack. Joe Rack the chance, but he can't take the mark. That player was Bennett. Back there in defence of Northeast, and Port Adelaide clear.
Phelps with a kick back towards centre wing, looking down there for Paul Williams. He can't take the mark. Yes, it's been paid. Oh, he's playing on there, but no, the umpire has called play back, and Paul Williams will take the mark at centre wing on the grandstand side in front of the cheering Magpie supporters as Williams kicks to the lead of Hodges. Falling back, Tasker almost completed the mark. Rowan Smith on the run, swoops on the ball. He's got a player loose in the goal square, and the mark has been taken by Marnie. Oh, an important kick, an important mark and should be an important goal.
Yes, what's your decision? That one of Sean Tasker's there could have almost been paid. The one of Williams was paid a bit earlier, very similar. But Port Adelaide swooped on the loose ball. A good pass finds Wayne Marnie back into the side today, and an important kick for him.
Lines up for his first goal. Puts it on its way. He's put it straight through the centre. The margin now in favour of Port Adelaide is just 13 points, and the Magpies just have that bit extra of breathing space.
They've got that extra bit of strength, they've got that extra bit of run, and they've displayed that all day today. And Wayne Marnie in perfect position, about 20 metres out in front of goal, accepted the left foot pass. It was a lovely pass. And Port Adelaide now with a 13-point gap have made it very difficult. North Adelaide have to come back from that. Jason Blair leaving the ground, and back on Simon Hill.
And almost it was taken as a bit of offence. Port Adelaide taken to a 1-point lead, but now they're out to a 13-point breathing space. Here's Lehman in the centre, he's legged, but the umpire says my ball and the bounce in the centre.
North Adelaide need to get the next goal if they want to win this game of football.
So Port Adelaide 14-4-88, North Adelaide 11-9-75. It's been an entertaining game here at Alberton. Bradley Ryan off the half-back line, kicks up towards half-forward. Out there is Foster. Oh, brilliant strength there shown by Simon Hill. He looks for Sims, who's tackled without the ball. And he'll receive the free kick. No doubt it was tricky play by the Rover. He's had front position and deserved the free kick.
So Sims now from centre wing to put North into attack. Redden is waiting for it. Ball is punched away. Saliba, no, it's a free kick to North Adelaide. About 55 metres out, Michael Redden will get the free kick.
I think Michael suggested it was a mark anyway.
He would. There's the kick on, the lead from Bennett. Rack is out there, it's punched clear. Hill onto the ground, gathers it in, can't get it away. Bennett working hard in the pocket, trying to get it out in their ball ace, northeast as well. We see Simon Hill down on the ground behind play.
Yes, he's only just come back onto the ground, and I think he got slung to the ground. They might have hit the head when he went down, and they appear to be calling for a stretcher or something, and the young boy doesn't look real flash at the moment.
Umpires have called for play to come to a halt as the trainers are signalling there for the stretcher to be brought out. He appears to be holding his net. That'd be shocking bad luck for the young fellow.
Maybe a knee problem, just the way they're holding it there. And yes, I think Simon himself indicating there's a lot of soreness in that left knee.
I'll tell you what, he's in a lot of pain too, the young fellow, which is most unfortunate. He's coming to his feet. That's the greatest recovery of all time.
Well, let's hope that he's okay, because
Certainly.
they had called for the stretcher to come out, which indicates that it wasn't real good. So let's hope for his sake and North Adelaide's that he's all right.
So the bounce will occur in Port Adelaide's right forward pocket. Bennett, the tap away, goes back over the line and out of bounds. But so often we see players that are stunned like that, and it really appears as though some damage has been done. But once that initial shock has gone from the injury, players come good. Throw in their heart, trying to get the ball out. Ball aces there, but waiting for it, Saliba, but the umpire has control. He'll take a bounce right forward pocket for Port Adelaide, who lead by 13 points.
And a very, very crucial stage of this football match. If North Adelaide want to win, they need a goal, they need it quick.
Stephen Sims overruns the ball. Fiarchi in defence does that well, eludes two North Adelaide tackles. He kicks up towards half-back, but a brilliant mark taken by Redden, who appears to be playing a kick behind the play, which is good tactics by coach McNernan. Redden chips in short, the lead is on by Bennett. A bad pass, here's Hutton. The Magpies clear, up towards half-forward. Rowan Smith against Tasker. The ball's up down to accommodate McKay. He's got pace, kicks around his body. Hodges, who's booted 7, but beautifully judged there by Marshall, and he rebounds from defence, but a bad pass falls in the arms of Hutton. Darren Smith eludes the tackle. He's got support infield and Borlays onto Abernathy. Port Adelaide build as the chip pass finds Tregenza. He's called to play on. It was touched off the boot. Inside 50. Tregenza fires towards goal. And what a goal on league football action. Tregenza has booted his first. The Magpies, they're 15th, and they lead by 19 points.
Well, we normally see Simon Tregenza kicking goals off his wing, and that one is as brilliant as any of them. Just when they needed him to open up that extra bit of a gap, he grabbed the ball, and it appeared as though he made a mistake in playing on. But the quickness on the feet meant he could dodge and weave, get around the pack, and the left foot kick was a beauty, the non-preferred foot. So good skills by Simon Tregenza. The lead now 19 points in favour of the Magpies.
Port Adelaide 15-4-94, North 11-9-75. Port into attack again from the bounce. Through Sanders, can't get it away. Clisby the opportunity. Through goes Ryan, back to Clisby, but can he control it? He gets a hand pass out. There's Simmons waiting for it. His left foot kick goes towards the half-forward flank. Saliba there, overrun by Phillips. They can't get clean possession, North Adelaide, on their half-forward flank. They're trying hard. Saliba again. On towards Rack. Hart from the pocket will put it in towards Sims, who's dropped the mark. In there, Rosonico tries to get it out. Fiachi mops up. He'll come across the face of goal looking for Abernathy, and Bruce Abernathy takes the mark.
Yes, the North Adelaide have made some crucial mistakes at bad times, and that one of Sims was one of them. This is Hutton, centre wing. Little pass inside to Smith. One-hander, brilliant. Sweeps it wide. This is Williams. Left foot pass. Ball ace. Easy as you like. Port Adelaide move it down the ground nice and smooth. There's the run of Rowan Smith. It's used by Ball ace. And Rowan Smith accepts it some 40 to 45 metres out directly in front.
Good follow-up football there by Rowan Smith, who'd done the work back across centre field and the half-forward line. He followed it up and finds himself with a shot at goal only 40 metres out.
Well, like all the Port Adelaide players, they've been prepared to run all day and support the teammate. There's his shot on goal. That's the second to Rowan Smith. The gap widens to 25 points now in favour of the Magpies. And
Rowan Smith wasn't very prominent during the first half, but as the game has worn on, he's come more into the game with his tremendous pace and his ability to find space, as he did on that occasion, floating down after doing some good work. And Ball ace used him expertly to find him with that short kick to leave Smith in front, and he's converted for Port Adelaide's 16th goal. 16-4 the Magpies, 11-9 North.
So back in the centre, Redden wins the tap. Hart sweeps on it. The kick is smothered. Phillips the chance. Gets the big body behind the ball. Swings it out to Hutton onto his left foot at centre wing. It's a high ball. Sprinting to it, Rowan Smith. Tasker with him. Good battle. Ball ace toes it through. Darren Jarman tried to get a handball out, but Ball ace is there. Rowan Smith runs to the 15-metre line. Kicks away on that northern goal. But it's offline to the left. Just the minor score. The lead 26 points in favour of the Magpies.
There's that man again, Rowan Smith. You cannot let him alone for more than just a few moments, because he'll tear a defence to pieces. As North Adelaide with the kick in. Out towards the half-back flank. Oh, Stephen Williams, fine mark, falling back, and has taken the mark. Port Adelaide player in trouble behind play, but he goes short towards Tregenza. Has the mark been paid? It has.
Just behind play, incidentally, they're calling for the stretcher there. I think that's Darryl Borlase, I'm not sure.
Appears to be holding his lower part of his leg too, John, so that'll be unfortunate for Port Adelaide. He just twisted behind play, and just one of those unfortunate things also. So let's hope that we find the same situation as we did with young Simon Hill a few moments ago, and he appeared to be badly injured, and they had to bring the trainer out only to find that he was okay. Let's hope for the Port Adelaide player that the same applies. But he certainly appears to be in a lot of trouble there.
Yes, I think it's Darryl Borlase.
Yes, it is.
It's an ankle or a knee there that he's having trouble with. The stretcher is with him, as you see, and he obviously is going to be removed from the ground.
6-point deficit at this stage of the game would be very, very difficult. So Tregenza will run in over the 50-metre line and put it in towards that northern goal. Coming through there is Marshall, and punch the ball through for a safety behind. So another one to the Magpies, 16-6, 102. And North Adelaide now with the kick in from Marshall towards half-back on the outer side. Mark almost taken. Ball comes to ground. Comes loose. Saliba gets a hand pass away. Intercepted there by Port Adelaide. They have the opportunity to go forward again in towards the pocket. Darren Smith is there. Uses the body to get a free run at the ball, but Carlaw too quick and takes it to the safety of the boundary line, and a throw in right forward pocket for Port Adelaide.
There's a lot of strength shown by Darren Smith, and that's been one of the differences in these two sides today. Port Adelaide have been the much stronger combination in terms of physical body power and as a group of people together. Darren Smith toes it through. Marnie runs onto it, hooks it in front of goal. Hodges. Well, he's been paid, had a couple of grabs at it, but good thinking, good quick movement from the Port Adelaide players. Smith towed it through, swooping on it, Marnie just inside the boundary, put it out in front of goal rather than attack the goal with the kick, and Hodges was in perfect position.
Kick 7, coming for 8.
And he's only 10 metres out, 45-degree angle, kicks away. Well, that's goal number 8 to Scott Hodges, and he's certainly having a good season in 1990. Port Adelaide move on, 17 goals, 6. to North Adelaide 11-9.
John, a lot will argue that of those 8 goals, quite a few of them have come very easily from the work done further afield by the Port Adelaide players to leave him unattended within 20 metres of goals. But then a full forward has to make the position. He's got to put himself into the space. He's got to read the play coming down, and as a result, he's booted 8 goals. Not all of them from absolute sitters, but that's fine work.
But the full forward is there to kick goals, Nipper, as we know, and he's achieved that by kicking 8. And I think you could describe most of the goals that he's got as team goals by the Magpies side.
From that centre bounce, North Adelaide go forward. Awkward kick to half forward. Bennett onto Stone, who was reported earlier in the game. Phillips shepherds off. Northeast gets a hand pass to McKay. He comes through. Hand pass is awkward to Rowan Smith, but Foster has the chance for the Magpies. Slow to get rid of it. Klomp to Sims. North will go forward. Out into that left full forward pocket area. Rack out there, held, and will get the free kick. Held by Phelps. And Joe Rack the opportunity to goal for the Roosters. They trail by 33 points. That's a big deficit at this stage at the 21-minute mark of the final quarter.
Darren Smith leaving the ground, and back onto the ground is Paul Stringer, but the action is with Big Joe Rack. Around about 40 to 45 metres out, kicking towards the southern end. Keeps it low. It's a wobbly kick into the square. It goes off hands. North Adelaide fighting desperately. Equally to the Port Adelaide defence. It's in the left forward pocket now. Sims and Fiachi. Back to Klomp. The flying shot from a standing start. Offline for just the minor score.
Yes, we've seen the difference there, John, haven't we? Where North Adelaide on many occasions have had to struggle just like that to convert for full points, whereas Port Adelaide have got so many of their goals from good team play further afield.
Paul Rosonico has been a good member of a very strong Port Adelaide defence today. Brings a grandstand side, off hands. Chances for Simmons at the back of the pack. Very slow to get that ball and do anything effective with it. Bottled up by the Port players. The bounce will take place. Grandstand side, roughly halfway between the centre wing and half-forward right position of North Adelaide. By Mark Mackey, David Hines, on and off the ground a couple of times today, was under a cloud with injury as Hart kicks away, was smothered off the boot towards the boundary line, running onto it Lehman, plenty of pace. Northeast applies the pressure, they're hooked in front of goal. Fiachi, been strong and resolute in defence all day today. The little short pass, David Hutton at half-back. Well done, George Fiachi. Strong defensive unit is Port Adelaide. Off the hands, Peter Simmons the chance. Quick handball, Klomp. Need to hook it in front of goal. Lovely pass finds Todd Stone. We said a moment ago, was reported earlier in the game. Behind the play incident in which Paul Rosonico received a rather sore right ear. The kick on goal looks good. Has it got the distance? Right to the line it goes. The goal umpire says, yes, that's a goal. Albeit a belated one to North Adelaide 2 minutes before time on in this final term. But it's Port Adelaide 17 goals 6 in control over North Adelaide 12 goals 10.
Todd Stone has kicked his second goal for the Roosters this afternoon. It's amazing when one considers that around about the 10-minute mark of the final quarter it was only a point the difference, and now it's 26 points. And Port Adelaide, who've just been resilient in all their defensive efforts this afternoon, have withstood the challenge of the Roosters to open up that very handy break. Rack with the tap, taken away by Rowan Smith. Port Adelaide go forward from Stringer again to the half-forward flank, looking for Hines. Big fellow lumbers down from full forward. Rowan Smith again, back to Hines. Ball is loose, chance now for McKay, caught, but he can't get it away, so we'll see a bounce between centre and the half-forward flank for Port Adelaide. So Big Michael Redden has done a lion-hearted job this afternoon. Joe Rack on the ball on this occasion to Hart out towards Sims. Calling for it there was Ryan, but the kick didn't have the power, and intercepting is Tregenza, and he'll put Port into attack again.
Straight towards full forward he goes. Big Hines lumbers out, gets the hands to it. McKay runs onto the loose ball. Sims is there also and receives the free kick. Deep in defence, Stephen Sims. Tigerish rover. Not a lot of movement up forward. Big congestion of players out on the outer side, so he swings it towards the grandstand side and Sean Tasker. They have a loose player in Simmons. Handball finds its mark and gathers on the half-back line. Little short pass, Clisby. Too high for him, Hutton. A nest of Roosters to get by, couldn't do so. Hart to Lehman. Now he's got some space in front of him. He runs to the centre wing. A couple of bounces. He puts it down in the Todd Stone direction. He's up in the middle of the pack. Off hands, chance for Rosonico. Clever handball to Stringer. He uses Smith. He's going to be under pressure. Darren Jarman tapped it down, now picks it up, kicks towards full forward. Coming across, little Saliba, got high, couldn't complete. Still in there fighting hard against two Magpies. The two Maggies had to win. Fiachi pushes it out to Rosonico. Inside he goes, but it's cut out by Stone. Can't do anything effective with it. And Port Adelaide are gradually gaining yardage. Simon Hill, well, that knee appears to be okay now as he gets bundled across the boundary line. Looked to be in a little bit of trouble earlier with the left knee. But now the throw-in will take place at half-forward right for North Adelaide. And they're trailing by 26 points.
From the throw-in, it comes down in the direction there of Abernathy. Can't get it away. Sims chips it out into the space, looking for Sanders, pursued by Tregenza. Sanders will get onto that right foot, lines up for goal from 40 metres out. It's on its way. Has he kicked it truly? No. He's put it offline and through for a minor score. So it's 25 points in favour of Port Adelaide as we go into the time-on period by about 30 seconds.
Fiachi doing the kicking in duty, swings it to the outer side, Stringer's the target, and he takes it. Well, gets it on. Marnie running onto it, can't handle it though. Stepping in Sanders. North Adelaide the chance, but the handball is astray, and it's out of bounds on that outer side. Round about the centre wing position. 25 points in favour of the Magpies. They have controlled this game for most of it. They appear to have gone quiet at a few occasions, and North Adelaide, to their credit, come bounding back in this final term. They've certainly stamped their authority on it. That's Foster getting the ball inboard to Williams. Thought about the handball to Abernathy, but now kicks in the direction of Hodges, who's caught behind Clisby. Strong mark by Trevor Clisby. Short pass. Stephen Sims the target. Plays on quickly. Darryl Hart. Centre wing outer side. Taking his time. Pass. Plump. Half forward. No real running support from North Adelaide, and that's been one of the names of the game today. Port have supported each other by running all day today. Quickly on to Rack. He's played on. Gives it inside now to Atkinson. The flying shot at goal is way offline, and Nipper, in fact, it's out of bounds on the full. Therein lies part of the story of this game. North Adelaide squandering opportunities. Yes, it certainly does. So Port Adelaide out of danger once again. Northeast, the mark, the kick up towards the centre wing position. Here's a chance now for Port Adelaide. Through Hodges, who's coming off the ground. He's booted 8 goals. He'll be replaced by Darren Smith, coming back onto the ground after he was replaced by Paul Stringer just a few minutes ago. So obviously a minor injury there as far as Scott Hodges is concerned. He's done his job with 8 goals. Throw in. Darren Smith takes the ball out of the air towards the half-forward flank. Carlaw happy to see it out of bounds on the half-forward flank for Port Adelaide. 17-6, 108 the Magpies. North Adelaide 12-11, 83. We played 2.5 minutes of time on in the final quarter here at Alberton. Closing stages of a game that hasn't risen to any great heights, although it has been absorbing, especially in the early part of this final quarter when North got to within 1 point. Stephen Williams wheels around. Clever little left foot pass. McKay. George Fiachi running by, but McKay goes long towards the square. It's a vacant square. It bounces almost on the line, and through it goes. That's the first goal to Darren McKay, son of a former Port player, and Ashley McKay. And Port Adelaide doing it easily now. 18 goals, 6 to North Adelaide, 12 goals, 11. That's their 6th during the final quarter. There's no breeze here at Alberton this afternoon, and Port Adelaide, they're just getting themselves out into the spaces, as we've seen once again. That's been the difference between the two sides this afternoon. Port Adelaide have been able to put the ball out into a space where there's been a player mostly unattended, and they've been able to have unpressured shots at goal. 18 goals, 6 speaks for itself. From the centre bounce, McKay again. Wanganeen will put Port forward. Darren Smith at centre half forward in front of him. Plays the ball along to Wanganeen again. Port will go to the goal square with a kick. It's long down there. North Adelaide will be happy once again with Marshall to carry the ball through for a minor score. 18-7 Port, North 12-11. Closing stages of the game at Alberton. Port Adelaide in total control. After getting a fright early in this final term, the kick is in the direction of Darren Smith. He's spoilt by Hart, emerging Tregenza. That's a high ball. Getting under it, Williams, so to Tasker, who spoils. Carlaw's there in support. Through the fingers of David Sanders. Kicked off the ground. Right forward pocket for Port Adelaide, but Carlaw's there for North. Puts it back towards the centre wing, and Klomp Bouncing ball was a hard one to handle, but he got it well, gave it to Hart, little pass to Sims. So North set sail down that outer side flank, but in possession is George Fiarchi. The Port Adelaide defence today has been brilliant. Fiarchi's wobbly kick finds northeast. Long handball to Abernathy, free in the centre. Popley-Do uses it long. Good support. This is Foster. Kicks long towards full forward. Very direct. Williams is there. Uses the body. Can't complete it. Carlaw took it off his fingertips and doubles back now. Across the face of goal, and Sean Tasker has his captain a little bit further afield. Finds him. Darryl Hart hasn't really got anything further on to use.
What a courageous game he's played too. From half back, he'll put it towards centre field, towards Rack, and the big fellow has taken the mark. To Ryan, one of North Adelaide's better players this afternoon. It's at centre wing, but North Adelaide don't have the support players there. The hand pass, Tregenza will put Port forward again to half forward. Smith in front, couldn't take the mark, but put the tackle on beautifully to Tasker, and Darren Smith has won the free kick and looks to be in a little bit of bother there. He was taken off the ground about 7 or 8 minutes ago, only to be forced back on when Hodges came off. But Darren Smith will have the shot at goal, the northern goal, in this the final quarter, having kicked 2 in the game so far. Will kick almost off the 50-metre line. He does. It'll fall just short as players up high in front. Fine mark to David Hines. Coming across in front of the pack. He had to drop on the ball and he had to run at it, and he's taken the mark. Now he's being brought around onto a reasonably acute angle. The siren has gone, but David Hines will shoot for goal as he moves in, tries the check side punt kick. He's converted for full points from about 3 metres out. He's booted Port Adelaide's 19th.